time that my arm kind of started fluttering, and I thought, oh shit, am I half a butterfly? Turns out I was. And then I woke up. What's it mean?
Is that the dream
Wait.
from No Country for Old Men?
Wait, hold up. Were you a butterfly
seen
that dreamed he was a man, or a man who dreamed he was a butterfly? Or did I get that backwards?
At this point, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, welcome back, everybody. We got a big one for us today. I'd say this episode is special, but it's not going to be. It's going to be the most boring, tasteless episode you've ever seen.
I got something special. I between last episode and this one, I donated my hair.
Nice.
Awesome. You should save that for the stream. When are we starting?
What,
I
donating
haven't
my
had
hair for
anything
the
interesting
stream?
happened to me in the last time since we've streamed. It's been pretty
No.
boring on my end.
Yeah, Ryan,
It's been
nothing
plenty
exciting
boring.
happened to you?
I went to Disney. I was Captain America for Halloween. And I
Badass.
got engaged.
Oh, yeah!
Woo!
Congratulations!
I'm engaged. So. Sorry, ladies. And
Ladies, you
Probably
had your chance, and it's over!
what are you gonna do?
Just keep watching, I guess.
Make a time machine.
You can watch, but you can't touch.
I'm gonna veto. That is not becoming the slogan of this stream.
Speaking of, we're going to be launching our OnlyFans real soon. Just have to get some things in order.
Right, the OnlyFans thing, at first, we were thinking we were going to put that on hold, but then when they reversed their policy shift, we're back on. But there's just, it kind of like made us, take the foot off the gas, as it were, for getting that ready. But now that we know, we're working on it again.
Indeed. Hey, Richard, what are we doing tonight? It's a pretty exciting episode.
It is. I've got some stuff to go over, but first let me just give a bit of a recap for anybody who didn't bother reading. So, last time, Anwar went off to secure an alliance with some freed ogres from the logging thing from earlier, with the help of Luke. We've not seen him come back yet, so that'll be happening this time. The rest of the party captured a logging ship filled with a bunch of lumber. 2 guards out of that whole shenanigans remain alive and captured. One of them is completely convinced that the party are undercover agents for the Empire and that the rest of his crew was secretly resistance. The other has been knocked out the whole time, has not been bluffed to. He's just knocked out and tied up. Interesting Tinkerer's device that's, I think is called a pistol? Strange object. Has been recovered from the captain. The ship is currently docked in a small creek off of the main river. It seems to be well hidden for now, at least unless somebody was like seriously looking for it. Eventually they'd find it. I don't think any camouflage or anything was put over, but it's just kind of tucked behind somewhere where you can't see it from the main part of the river. Twig, your speedy quickling scout, he was given a holiday, and he went off to see a beautiful sunset on the west coast. And he should be back sometime the following day. Poe has gone off to relay info to other factions of the Rebellion and Resistance. He's not expected to return anytime soon, so you've seen the last of Poe for a while. Lopa and Auric gone south to, or I guess they would have gone west, to retrieve their orc army. Lopa is expected to return within a couple days with his elite warriors. And the plan is to load them up on that ship you stole. And then Auric, the Orc Ranger, expects to see you on the battlefield, as he will take command of the lower rank warriors, or at least the Rangers within those ranks. And then Ronkin, Trax, and Sorsha have stayed at Kami House, keeping an eye out for any Imperial presence. And then Anwar's parents are still over at Inger's house, waiting to know if or when it will be safe to return to Kami House. So that's kind of where we left things off. However, I did leave out some important things from the first half of the session last time, which began with an epic battle with Lopa. So if anybody would like to start there and talk about any of the RP stuff that happened, there's definitely some big character moments as well. But I'll let other people go into that. And then I've got another little announcement of things to look for today.
Can you do me one quick favor, Richard, before we recap?
Yep.
Is your camera separate, or is it on your laptop? Is it a laptop camera?
It's a desktop.
Oh, okay. Well, can you angle it upward just a few more degrees? Give yourself some more. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Well, Cammy had the real moment last time.
I don't know. I kind of think that Audra biting off a little more than she could chew was probably a pretty big moment.
It was a good intro.
Did Cammy get some little tusk action last time, or was that the previous episode?
Oh yeah,
that's
no,
what I was thinking of.
that happened. There were a lot of big moments last time.
Okay. What did we? Okay, right. We started with the low
battle.
fight, right?
I think kicking off that session, Anwar was like, "Oh my god, I'm out of here. This is dumb," and he like peaced out and vanished. And Audra was like, "I'm big and I'm gonna take out Lopa," and Lopa was literally like, "Bitch, you thought," and fucking annihilated her.
Yes, she did go down.
That happened, and then like Chimera tried to like maybe have that not happen, and then he like comes marching up to her and he's like, "You fuckers work for me, clean that bitch up," and Chimera was like, "Sure, absolutely."
Meanwhile,
and she did.
Hunter's like foaming at the mouth, speaking in infernal, like off the rails, in a different cosmos. Until
Drug as
like
fuck, playing Team Backpack.
yeah, just rode all the way to where they were chilling until the next morning, where Hunter kind of stumbled back, like kind of a walk of shame, like okay.
But something happened before that walk of shame, though. Something important happened to Hunter.
Indeed, I had been speaking this whole time where someone else was at the wheel. Hunter was speaking to their kind of mentor, I guess, at the time. Someone helping him along, Ronan, to discuss some terms for some new powers and abilities in exchange for services, I suppose. Services rendered to be TBD. And Hunter is kind of leaning into that infernal background and kind of looking into his past and his heritage and such.
The services on his end was pretty simple. It's basically like, all right, if you're gonna kill these aberrant fucks and these Empire people, you better give them the hard goodbye. You make them.
Make the squid suffer.
Yeah, make the squid suffer, exactly.
Which was already on my to-do list, so you know.
So you're now rogue/warlock multi-classed, yeah?
Yes, I took my first level of warlock, and I am so very looking forward to my second.
Which
I'll get there when we get there.
I forgot. What do you start with? You don't start with Pact. That's level 3. I don't remember what you choose at the top.
Pact is level 3. Invocations are level 2.
Okay. So Patron is
I
level
have
1?
some spell slots. Yeah, I have Patron and spell slots at this point.
Cool. I got a level up too. I had another dream with the Becoming, and he was like, "I'm gonna make your channel divinity even better. But don't forget, you need to be spreading the word about me, because that's how I get stronger, is more people believing in what I do." So now Audra's got double divinities, and she can help other people with it, which I believe happened later in the episode, which we'll get to. But yeah, I've got that. Audra was also now looped in by Cammy on the whole alternate timeline thing. I don't know how many people are privy to that now, but Audra is now aware of that.
I think everybody but Hunter at this point.
Okay.
I don't know if Hunter knows about it yet.
And
You're muted, Sid.
you muted, Sid. But it's your turn anyway.
Yeah, there was some stuff that happened
It's
with...
not though, because I have the hiccups. Please don't make me do this.
Do it. Do it. So,
I
Cammy
can't do
and
it.
Luke.
Tell us what you know!
So like, okay, so all that stuff happened, and then we were like, hey, let's maybe put together a plan to go and do the thing and the stuff. Oh wait, no, she had a dream. She dreamed. She went and visited other timeline, and her daughter was there, and her daughter was like, it'd be dope as fuck if you could show me some magic stuff because they're not. Oh god. Because they're not letting me like hang around like the team anymore because I am a risk. And so they did that, and she's like, this is great, like if you could do this all the time. And then Kamira was like, I'm not your real mom, love you, bye. And she left. Nope. Okay. They might be gone. I might have
You can't say.
Then we got back. Don't make me roll.
There was something that happened a bit earlier, though, before Luke went off with Anwar.
Oh, yeah, no. Kamira was totally like, hey, you and me, is this, like, is this a thing that could happen? Is it gonna happen? Are you interested? This is awkward. And he was like, oops, I almost kissed you, sort of kissed you. Boop. And they were like, agreed. That's basically how that's unfolding.
This is tusks bumping right here.
Yeah. And and then we went ahead onto Anwar leaving with him to go get the ogres. And then we went and tried to take the ship. And we did take the ship.
Yep.
We left the 2 people alive, admittedly not for pure purposes on my part. And yeah.
We took the ship pretty handily, if memory serves. We
you guys kicked ass.
Yeah, Audra was using her cool new not new, she just hasn't used it yet, but using the Spirit Guardian spell. And I know Hunter and Cammy did some pretty cool stuff too.
Yep. That kind of circles back around to the recap that I gave a little bit earlier.
Yep.
So, something I want to give everybody a heads up on for today. Stream, if anybody's watching, you can be in on it too, because it's new for me, it's new for everyone, because I'm borrowing a bunch of mechanics and throwing them together and seeing what sticks. So, for the battle today, assuming that we get to it today. I'm assuming that we will. Try not to think of it in the normal like timed battle thing where like it goes at 6 seconds at a time, because that just kind of makes a battle take forever. So instead, there's going to be a series of kind of a variation on skill challenges that could also be spell challenges or attack or defense challenges or whatever they may be. I will narrate part of it, and then there might be a twist or a turn. It's like, hey, this is happening. What do you want to do? And then you can look through all of your abilities, everything else, and say, like, I want to cast this spell, or I want to try to fight my way through, or, like, I want to defend and get over to the left, or whatever it might be. And then I'll just say, all right, then give me this check, or give me that check. And I'll kind of explain it to you as it goes. So, I know that sometimes during RP, there's like certain sections that people aren't all in for. So, if you've got some downtime where, like, instead of like looking at your phone or Facebook or whatever, if you could just look over your character sheet and try to familiarize it as much as you can, because this is going to be an episode where you might need to like think of all of your different options. Be like, oh, I could use this or I could use that, and it'll flow a lot faster if people aren't like searching through their entire sheet when the thing comes up. So like try to familiarize yourself as best you can.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I was looking through my sheet.
Go watch Facebook.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, it's called the metaverse now?
Get out. So anyways, that's just a heads up that this is going to be a totally new experiment of how to do something. The goal is to have the battle kind of flow smoothly, feel very cinematic, give you guys a chance to use your abilities in unique ways that you might not get to in a normal turn order thing. And we'll see how it goes. Just hopefully we'll end up with a battle that flows well and is fun, and doesn't just end up being like a slogfest that takes 6 hours to finish. So we'll see how it goes. There might be some times where it's like, hey, why is it going that way? But I'll do the best I can to officiate as needed. But it's going to be completely ad-libbed. I've never done this before, so it's going to be very improv. And hopefully it'll go well. With that in mind, just so you have that in the back of your heads, I guess we shall get into what is going on. So where we last left off, the party was kind of like, they had docked the ship and stuff, and the dwarf who is conscious, who I guess is following you guys now, you've taken his weapon and stuff, but I think he still has his armor on and everything. One guy's just like tied up, and I guess somebody's carrying him.
Yeah, I don't know if we determined what we're doing with that guy.
Okay. I think Chimera had an idea off screen, but I guess you guys need to figure that out. But anyway, I guess it's still dark out, and I guess you guys are making your way back to Kami House. But during that time, we don't need to RP all of it so we can move forward. But during that time, you'll find out that the guy who is conscious is walking along with you. His name is Donner, and like he's pointed out, the other guy's name is Jones. Donner is going to speak of his excuse me, of his experience as a dwarf, what it's like, and what you kind of gather is that getting a job as a guard is just kind of like this basic way to make a living, because there's not many jobs for these dwarves other than mining, and mining is like back-breaking work. A lot of people end up with like a lot of health problems. It's like really terrible working conditions. But as a guard, like, you're risking your life, but there's also the chance. Sorry, I heard my dog yelping away. Sorry, hold on, just
Yeah, go check.
I'm worried something happened. Hold on, just real quick.
Go check, no problem. Sid, what's your idea to do with our tied up guy?
Oh, I want to give him the low paw and see what he does.
Hell yeah.
We're giving him bait, basically.
I want to see what he does, and if in the event that he decides to kill 2 innocent dwarves, hopefully that'll kind of set a precedent of like,
Sydney, you
not
should
great,
know
see?
better. He doesn't want to be fed. He needs to hunt. Just chaining a goat to a post, he's just going to go in and take him out when her eyes are looking somewhere else.
It's an option. It's a thing I was thinking
It's that's interesting. I'll give you that. Huh.
There is a particular character who is very, 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 very fond of the Big Three's methods. And
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know what
not
you're talking
saying-
about. I don't know what you're
I'm
talking
not
about.
saying that this
I am
is the
playing-
best way to be like,
I am
"See?"
playing a lawful good human paladin, and
She?
no,
The
she's
thing that was-
absolutely chaotic good.
the thing that I was worried happened didn't happen, so we're all good.
Good.
So in any case, but you get to gain more of a sense of the entire dwarven society as well. He's just going on about like, yeah, a lot of people are not that into the Empire, but it's kind of like, hey, this is kind of where conditions are. Some people are like, there's just, dwarves aren't a monolith. There's different factions who, some of them feel like, yes, this was really messed up, that some dwarves like sold out and basically agreed to take over, certain lands that were heavily orcish and human and stuff like that. And others are like, hell yeah, like, I'm loving this. This is awesome. Like, I don't want things to go back. So you sense that there's a lot of divide even within the ranks of various dwarves. Let's see. Could I get an insight check from people just to...
The three of
if
us
you
who
get
are with
one
the
thing.
dwarf.
Yeah, for the 3 of you that are with the dwarf,
Okay.
yeah.
Starting
I
off
forgot
strong.
I have really good insight.
Onwards, not
He
there
says
yet.
when he nat rolls.
Chimera.
Oh boy.
You pick up on the idea that, like, as he's talking, you can tell, because right now he thinks that you guys are Empire. As he's talking, he's just kind of, at some point, you're getting a strong impression that he is actually fairly anti-Empire, but he's pretending that he's not. But you get the sense when he's explaining like both sides of issues that people are like having and stuff, because he's trying to like process too. Like, wait a minute, the captain was part of the resistance. Well, maybe it makes sense because like, yeah, there's a lot of people who are, kind of like freedom fighters and thinking that like some of this is fucked up and stuff. Like he tends to side with the more rebellious side in the way he has his inflections. So that's generally just a sense that you get while going through.
While
like
at
a
the same
thing-
time trying to flatter the Empire, maybe just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's really bad. Yeah.
I was
Mhm.
about to
Yeah,
ask,
exactly.
so
Yeah,
it's
but he's
like
like, but not me, of course. No. I mean, I think it's great. But you know, some people. So, but anyways, with that insight, you get the sense like, huh, maybe this guy's not that big on the Empire either. But he also half the ride over, he's just talking about what an asshole Jones is. Just like, oh yeah, of course he's a fucking traitor, you know. He's always everybody hates him. He farts more than anybody. He's always eating the gaseous stuff. Just like
If you gotta kill anybody, you should kill that guy.
at every chance throwing Jones under the bus. You only need an insight of like 2 to figure that out. Audra nat 1 and she still understood.
he mentions the gassy foods, and Audra is just like silently like, yes. You must die for your farts.
There's part of you just like, oh my god, I'm listening to this right now. Seriously, this is we're about to go on a raid in a city and we're talking about farts right now. Okay.
Yep. She's still got her mask on, but underneath it she's smirking a bit like, this is so dumb.
At some point, as you head well into the forest towards Kame House, what's his name? Just fucking said his name. Donner
Jones?
is going to be, so, where are we going? This is basically at the point where you feel like you've gotten all the information you're going to get from this guy.
You're going to hell, and then I stab him.
Ah.
Kidding.
So, where are we going?
If Cammy's the one who's been picking up on the like subtleties, then like Audra will just kind of like be looking at her like, what are we telling this guy now?
A safe house for the time being, just to regather our bearings.
Oh, you undercover guy's got like a safe house?
Of course. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, there's not any of those lithids in the safe house, is there?
No, darling. There's no lithids in the safe house.
Oh, okay, good. Because, you know, me, I all for the Empire, but those things still kind of scare me, as they should, because they're so powerful and wise and intelligent.
Roll a
And
new
frightening.
insight check with that new dialogue.
Yeah, go ahead.
That would be.
I mean, theoretically, this is the dialogue you've been getting the whole time. Nat 20 at that point. You're like, okay.
Finally, a light switches on in Hunter's eyes, like, and he like jerks his head over to Chimera, and it's like, good. We're not gonna. What are we?
I think we're just gonna have to see, dear. Also,
Hey,
you're
Donner.
frozen. I'm so sorry I didn't pick up on any visual cues.
Oh, I'm frozen.
Just on my screen, I think.
Oh, you look fine to me. Well, Sid, we'll see if you disappear for a moment.
Yes, didn't quite get your name, but Mr. Tiefling, sir.
Hey, Donner. How about you give us a minute to discuss some super top secret spy shit?
Sure thing. Well, I just go take a piss. He's gonna just like go behind a tree somewhere and just start pissing.
You
Audra
timing?
stands uncomfortably close, like monitoring him so he doesn't run away while he's pissing.
Oh, so you're not part of squad
I
huddle?
mean, well, someone needs to watch our prisoner.
He's fine. I immediately turn and like pull everyone in.
Audrey.
Wait, so he ate squids too? He ate squids. Y'all catch that?
I was distracted
Of
by the
course.
fart discussion, but you're saying he is also anti-empire?
I got some strong vibes on that kind of wave. So maybe we don't kill him?
We could always use more people on our side. In general, not in
Yeah.
the upcoming battle. That would be a lot to ask.
Yeah, that's kind of soon. A little too soon to ask him to move in.
I think something that needs to be remembered is that we were distinctly informed that we work for Lopar on this.
Yeah. All right. So
So either we get him out now, or we see what we can do with him. Either way, I don't think he should be released until after.
No.
And your
So if we
concern
bring him-
is Lopal coming across him now, given his dislike of dwarfs?
I think anybody coming across Lopal right now is not good because Lopal is an. Anyway,
I thought we...
I don't trust him. So here we are.
That's fair. I mean, I feel like there's at least a minimal level of respect between the two of us after our exchange this morning. But
Darling,
I'm not gonna push it.
wiped the ground with you.
Yeah, he
and
kinda poked
quote
there.
said, "Clean that bitch up," and walked away.
You were unconscious for that part.
No, but this morning we had that camaraderie high five at breakfast.
Yeah. You
AK,
survived.
you know.
Sure.
Things are forgiven, it seems, at least between the two of us. I would hope.
Okay. Sure.
I'm not
We will
going to poke the
present
bear again.
him with what we have, I guess, and see how that goes.
Present him with, as in, bring the dwarf to him.
I mean, if there's an air of understanding between you two, certainly he would get it, right? He wouldn't chop his head off, hang it from a tree.
Like if we give him a heads up, I guess.
Well,
Like,
if
let him
the
know,
al-
hey.
Take a look. Okay, you mind if I take a shit?
Oh God. You need some like.
I
Wow.
got some leaves. It's good.
All right.
Dig a hole first.
do warlocks get
So-
prestidigitation?
You don't know me.
I would use that every time. Anyways.
I would too.
Well, I mean, the alternative is trying to hide Donner and Jones the whole night, which is a lot to do before a battle.
Yeah, we ain't gonna hide nobody, cause that's A, too much work, like you said, and then that comes off kinda weird, kinda sketchy.
Right, like
Like-
it seems guilty even if we're not doing anything wrong.
Right, so like Lopal knew kind of where we were going, what we were doing. Just be straight up, like, hey, wreck the crew, and then this dude turned out to kind of share some views on some things.
I guess Lopal may be expecting POWs, but like Cammy said, it's a question of what he will do with them.
Either way, I think it's agreed that we cannot let them go until well after we take Waterwheel. So,
Indeed.
here we are.
Here we are.
And I guess with that, you make your way back to Calming House, and you settle in for the night. By morning time, or early morning time, when the morning rain kind of starts to come in again, Anwar returns. Let's see if I can get this page up here. I'm way too far zoomed in. All right. Anwar shall return with Luke. Let's get Luke up here. I have done some rolls for how successful he was with the ogres. And even with advantage, the rolls were very stubborn and amazingly identical to how they were in the alt timeline when something else came up. Anwar comes back with one ogre, and this ogre is wearing a boot.
I knew this was gonna happen.
I did not know it was gonna happen until like early this morning when I did the rolls for it. I'm like, oh shit. So coming back in, Anwar, how are you feeling after your adventures out and returning with one ogre?
I mean, not great. I was hoping to get more than one, but I guess can't do anything about rolls you don't do. So,
Well,
I
you
guess
gave me what the rolls are, and then I rolled them. Just had to see how it was going to turn out, and that is how it turned out.
What were they?
I had like I had a tier thing for like what it would be for each, and it was the exact same number both rolls.
Great, love it. Well, I guess it's a good thing it wasn't a surprise, because it would have been a pretty lame surprise. Anwar comes back. He's got one. They probably hear the guy walking first. Imagine he's got that like, got that like that cell android,
Yeah, but only every other.
Yeah, it's not an elegant machine. It's more for function.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, he's coming on in. He's looking less happy than he looks in the photo. Just kind of tentatively scanning around.
He looks like that hide
everyone.
the pain meme in the photo. He doesn't look particularly happy.
That's probably what it is. When he's like stepping on, like, I'm gonna take some getting used to walk this in. We've been walking a few miles now.
I think you're greeted at the door by like Hunter in a tree with like a bow and arrow and like a toothbrush in his mouth and like not his leather armor's not there. He's like kind of dressed, but he's like, all right, nice to see you guys. Come on in. Just like heard you guys coming. Sorry.
He sure does. His name is Mamushka.
Hey guys. So Luke and I went over to the Ogre Enclave. It's more really of a cave. But we did some talking, and we got one extra.
Yep, the other three basically say, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah,
Audra,
surprisingly, not the one you would think.
No.
Is there any way to insight check Mamushka to see if he only joined for the sake of getting close to Audra to chop off her foot?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Audra definitely walks into the room with like, whatever, like water, whatever she's drinking, and just does like walks in like, oh, you recruited oh no.
I even rolled a d4 for which one it was, and it was him, which is exactly how it went in the alt timeline when it.
Perfect.
His foot was still there, but. For the one ogre that was like helping tie Chimera up, it's that same guy. Like the dice are like, this is the guy. So I'm like, fine.
Even for just like, I'm glad you rolled it, but even for just like drama's sake, it's funny that it would like it's this guy anyway, right? Like this would be the guy to choose anyway.
All right, 14. Hold on, now I need to roll something. He seems more focused with his leg than with looking for Audra at this point.
Okay, because she's probably like 10 feet away from him.
If he comes in close contact, he's definitely gonna look kind of stern, like looking down at her a bit, because he's like 10 feet tall. Okay. So he's definitely gonna look down, and there is a tiny bit of that Kill Bill like. What does Audra do in this moment? Because she doesn't know what he's thinking on the inside.
No, but she definitely, she 100% recognizes who it is. She'll kind of like regain her composure, right, from like choking on a drink, whatever. Set it down, and she's just gonna walk right over and offer just a big handshake to the guy at first.
Saying anything or just offering a handshake?
Offering that at first.
He looks confused at you.
So she stands there with it extended, and there's like a moment where she's like not sure what to say and just, I'm sure you recognize me because I recognize you, and I'm glad we were able to free you, and I'm sorry that this is how that went down. I didn't intend for this injury to befall you, and if there's anything more I can do to help it, please let me know. Thanks for joining our cause, and again, I'm sorry.
Go ahead and roll persuasion, which is the closest thing I know to a roll to apologize.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, I've only rolled a nat 1 tonight. Let's see what happens. Okay.
There you go. He didn't understand any idiom or any word with more than 2 syllables, which I think the only one was recognize. But mostly he picked up on what you were saying, and he just kind of like gives like a knock knock on your hand.
I feel like
And
I
then
should
he
also
just
say that
kind of
Mamushka is not the most well-read person in the world, so if you can keep it to simple, empire bad, fighting, freedom good. So
Yeah, how was your conversation on
Me
the way
sorry.
back with him?
it was a quiet walk. We'll just except for that boot. I gotta work on that boot.
Mamushka is mainly concerned at this point with finding a comfortable spot to sit, because he
Oh, it's
wants to
me.
take some pressure off of that leg, and he's gonna go find that spot that that Lopaw was sitting at a couple nights earlier. He's just gonna kind of rest up against a tree, just kind of like it's got just the right kind of groove in between some of the roots of the plant to kind of nestle in there, and he's just gonna lean back and rest his eyes for a bit. And so that is that's that part of that. Luke will go up to Chimera and awkward be like, well, that was technically fruitful. How was getting the boat?
Also technically fruitful. We came back with a couple of friends though, and I am not entirely sure how long they will be with us.
Are they inside with us now?
Yeah, where did you guys get?
I was
Did
just
you guys
about to
like
say,
keep them
I
inside
don't
somewhere?
remember what we
Yeah,
did.
I
Did we
probably
bring
would
them
have
in?
just like, please sit inside, enjoy this, enjoy this Fey destroyed couch. Good day
Yeah,
to you.
one guy is just totally tied up and probably just placed somewhere, like, with 10% comfort. And so you guys are still like keeping up the illusion at this point, or keeping up the facade that you
Mhm.
guys are all Empire for the other guy. Okay.
And I'll
Um,
I'll let Luke know that, just kind of like they think that we're Empire.
You
For
should probably
now.
let Anwar know that too.
Also, hey, Anwar,
Mm.
hi over here.
Yeah.
So we kind of came back with 2 hostages.
Oh wow.
Think that we
Brought them here.
they think that we're Empire for the time being.
Huh.
one of them does anyway.
Hunter did that.
I just- As she says that, I just kind of like walk right behind her and like crossing
Just-
frame.
just to keep you in the
Oh.
know.
So
Yeah.
how's that gonna work when one of the most wanted people on the continent, Lopaw, sees them?
Dude, I'm looking forward to seeing how it works out, honestly. And also you should be the head. They think you're like, never mind, don't worry about it. I'm looking forward
Also,
to them
I'm
seeing your
most
face.
wanted.
I know, right? That's going to be wild to see their reaction.
Really,
I'm
a
sorry,
creepier version of you is what's most wanted, if we're being technical.
Yes, but I feel like this facade's going to break apart almost immediately.
Oh, yeah, almost immediately. But the thing is, it hasn't yet. And also, I think he hates the Empire. I'm pretty sure this dude hates squids.
Is he just saying that so he doesn't get killed?
No, quite the opposite.
that's
He
the
was saying
vibe,
the other
actually.
thing. He was all like, "Oh, I love me some squids," but then he had like the ew face, like the yuck mouth. You know what I mean?
So
Also,
he
he
thinks
hates
we're
his
Empire.
companion Jones, and we don't know anything about him because he's been knocked out this entire time.
Right. He might be a problem.
He might be a
So
problem.
he hates. So he thinks we're Empire,
Right.
Yes.
and he's tied up.
No, not
Well-
him. The other one.
Right.
The other one's just
So
sitting
he's-
on the couch, I think, and like
just
I'll like
hanging out.
lean back, look through the window.
Yeah. He's comfy cozy.
This kettle corn is great.
Loves the kettle corn, by the way.
He's enjoying Inga's kettle corn.
Big fan of the kettle corn.
Who
Who ain't?
isn't, though? Right.
Uh,
So, see? Everything's fine. I'm adult, and I ran this absolutely okay.
what could have gone? What could go wrong?
But he's just a guy, right? Like he's not anything.
He's
I mean, he might
just-
have some information,
Is-
shipping routes and all that, right?
He's no one high-ranking, if that's what you're asking.
One can
Yeah.
argue that everybody's special in their own way, but I don't think he is in any means special to us at all.
Well, maybe we should just turn him loose then. If he thinks we're Empire, and he should just go. If he can't,
I don't
If-
think that's a good idea until after. Because what if he just
Oh.
like runs around and then he sees one of the posters, which I mean I have them in my pocket. I mean,
but he didn't
But-
recognize you so far.
no, he didn't, which is so weird.
Yeah, and
I'm-
Audra, the only one who had the poster come late, was having her mask on the whole time. If he seems to be a rebellion sympathizer, then if he does see the posters, it won't really hurt, right?
Hypothetically. Until
mean,
he
either-
realizes he could get like a lifetime payout of like free pudding or something.
I mean, either way, like the lid's coming off this thing real soon, so like,
Yep.
personally, I'm like bubbly about it. I'm excited to see where this goes, but we do have to figure out like, do we send him on a fool's errand to keep him preoccupied till we're done, or do we put him in the ground to meet the maker?
But there's
Or-
things running around. I don't really feel comfortable
Right.
unleashing
That's-
him.
Can he be an asset to us in some way?
I mean,
Maybe, maybe not.
maybe, maybe not.
Well, I feel like this plan of calling us Empire kind of falls apart immediately.
Oh no, that was just to
Back-
get here.
Right.
So like that part done, we got the ship, we put some people down, and we got here safe for being clever and stupid.
So, all right. So here are our possibilities.
Right.
Low Paw can see him,
Mhm.
and Low Paw will probably kill him or severely wound him. And that could happen, and that'd be terrible. We
Mhm.
could let him go and say, go serve your empire, goodbye. Or we could try and recruit him and keep him away from Low Paw and hope for the best. Are those all the options I'm seeing right now?
I mean, if we don't dig too deep, yeah, that sounds right.
Personally, I
I feel
think having another asset to our cause could be useful, so that's where my vote goes.
I mean,
that's assuming he's down.
if this dude hates if this dude hates squids and is all about the rebellion, he might be decent for spreading propaganda or rumors or something if we cut him loose, giving him the right, the right morsel. Whether
Uh,
that's us coming clean or not.
So what happened to all of his friends?
Oh, we straight up killed him. See, I did this thing, like, alright, first off, his captain, mean son bitch. I made sure that dude couldn't see shit. It was fantastic. Then we just, like, sliced and diced, cut the problem down to the bone. You know what I mean? And all that was left was him and Sleepy over there. So it was easy peasy. Then all I had to do was put the spin doctor on him, and here we are.
We are Empire. They were rebellion.
We're secret agents undercover. Can you believe
And-
that? I don't.
All the same,
I can't believe it.
Oh man, that was good.
to be frank, and absolutely dreadfully monstrous, I have no problem with more or less presenting them to Lopal in an effort to judge what we may be dealing with
As a
with
guinea
that
pig?
with that man in an entire city of potentially innocent people.
Hmm.
An entire city.
So using one innocent person as a guinea pig to see what would happen to a city of innocent people.
Fact that we're not sure what he'll do is everything that's wrong with this problem. It's the whole
Yeah.
picture. It's the whole
Oh
thing.
yeah, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong, for sure. So how do we deal with it? What do we do?
I mean, honestly, I'd say let him go. But I don't know.
Is there any way we could send him off with Empire orders the way we did those other guards at Waterwheel, just to perhaps create some sort of additional problem for the real Empire?
Basically, yes, but if he gets caught by one of those constructs, which we didn't ever get a firm number on, then we're screwed before we even start going. Unless somebody has some kind of magic that can modify his memory.
Actually, what if you were to tell him that the resistance was to attack? Can we get the world map, please, Richard?
Oh, we're gonna send him on a reverse. The British are coming.
We could send him to Stem Garden. We could send him to Fork Ridge. Say that the resistance is coming to attack, and they could, think that they're there and throw them off.
My vote would be Fork Ridge in that case. We don't want anything extra going back to Stem Garden.
And I mean, worst that happens there is they're like, dude, fuck the Empire, I'm not gonna do that, and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
So either we've got Wild Goose Chase or no change. I don't hate that.
Or he gets caught by a construct, and the entire plan is done.
As they read his mind.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Where is that?
But by that time, it'll be days later. And I don't think we're staying here for very long.
Well, like on this mortal coil?
I mean, like
Working
the
for
twins
Lopal,
all
that
this place.
sounds like it's par for the course, actually.
It's a risk, but what will he know? He'll know that he doesn't have to see my face. He can just see, well, technically only your two faces and a mask.
Okay, so we set him loose. We take Sleepy, use him as the guinea pig. Because we don't know anything about them. They could be far more dangerous to our situation. I recognize we are putting an individual in danger to see what a person in power would do. Not ideal.
I'd rather know now as opposed to later.
Yeah.
All I know is I don't think Lopal will give this any amount of thought.
What makes you
I
say
think-
that?
I think he'll see a pair of eyes and say either you work for me or you die. Or probably just you die.
I mean, we could blindfold him, walk in him blindfolded, obviously. That helps. That's something.
I know we're going to lose lives, and I know that we're going to have to attack Waterwheel, and a lot of good innocent people are hurt. But I wish we didn't have to add to that unnecessarily.
I don't know if it's unnecessary. Is it cold? Is it brutal? Yes. Is it ideal?
Test, right?
No.
We're testing what Lopal will do.
Right, which,
It doesn't have to be a we. I'll do it. It was my idea.
that ain't fair. But, like,
That's plenty fair.
but the point is, though, that, like, if we get Lopal a position of power, a big win here, and he uses that win to hurt people we're trying to protect and save and liberate, then we should probably get a figure on that before we do it, you know what I mean? Because that'd be a hell of a mess to clean up.
I mean, technically, he's already said it. He said any dwarf that's profited from the Empire will die. It's pretty black and white. I think you
Yeah.
guys are looking for a reason to not think that.
Yeah, I'd really prefer that wasn't how things go.
I prefer this location had been compromised. I prefer that my parents were still safely here making us dinner before we could go to bed. But we need a new safe place. And part of that is taking Waterwheel. So there's a lot of things that I don't like, but here's where we are.
All right, so then, to protect our two new friends, what do we do? We can drop Sleepy in the woods in the middle of nowhere. He hadn't seen shit. He went unconscious on the boat. He can wake up wherever the fuck we want. It's the other guy. It's the problem. Do we tell him the truth here? Or do we send him on the goose chase thinking that this is our safe spot, so on and so forth?
I am not the leader. Honestly, that's either you or Miss Kamira. So I'll let you guys decide.
Hunter does raise a good point. Since Jones is knocked out, we can drop him off anywhere without much threat.
Assuming there aren't any more quicklings in the area.
Well, then it's not our problem either way, huh?
That's true.
I'd like people to roll an intelligence check real quick. See if anybody remembers a certain piece of lore. I guess you could add a history if you're proficient in history.
Okay. We ain't the smartest party, you know?
Makes sense that Anwar is the one who... Anwar, either you recall or it just came up in conversation while being with your ogre friend. There are rumors that ogres like the taste of dwarves. Just throwing it out there. Just as a thought that it's an intrusive thought that enters your head.
I'll let that one go. Let that thought go.
Fair enough.
There's the unless meme where it's like, unless? No.
So you're saying you don't want a problem destroyer? A little basket to carry our troubles away into
There'd be
non-existent?
literally no difference between feeding dwarves to Noga and feeding the dwarves to Lopal. If the fight is we don't want to hurt anybody, then we might as well send them on the wild goose chase south or west or east or wherever the fuck we want to send them and hope for the best that way. Unfortunately.
Yeah. And I mean, then
That's
we
what I
could
was
have, not Lance. Dang it, what's his name? Your boy toy?
Luke?
Oh, Luke.
Luke. We could have Luke try to, like, cover tracks and, like... No, he's not a druid, he's a ranger.
Luke kind of perks up upon hearing his name because he's not been too far away, and he's going to come over. So, yeah, I was curious if you needed me for something. All this talk of heading off to battle and stuff has got me asking a lot of questions.
Same here. Plenty of questions.
Yeah, that
It's orcs taking their land back, and I've been protecting the forest for so long, and these dwarves are connected with those who are destroying the forest. And I think it's clear that fighting against the Empire is in the best nature of the forest, but I've never done something like taking a city before. I'm a wilderness guy, and I just don't know. It appears you're all going off to battle, and I'm not sure what my role is, what my duty is in all of this. And I often don't have people to consult or talk to about such things. I'm looking for some guidance here.
I appreciate your vulnerability in this moment. That's genuine and nice, and I appreciate it. And it warms my heart to know you brought it to us.
So I try to warm hearts. Looks over to Chimera and then looks back away like, oh, no, I'm not. I did not just do that. Oop.
If we let these guys go, could you make it...
He can be the escort to Forkridge if that's where you guys want to send them.
But also, could you make it difficult to find this place again if they decided to or unintentionally ratted on us?
I don't know how to cover tracks from somebody who walked here.
Yeah, no, this place has been compromised like twice over. I don't think there's any coming back to it much after this. Unfortunately.
Unless they die.
Unless they die.
I mean, not because of them, because of Squid Scout saw this place.
Yeah, that's the twice
Oh,
over. One
that's-
is they walked
okay,
here,
yeah.
the other one is a Squid Scout.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, if it ain't Goose Chase, then what do we do? It's either Goose Chase or more blood.
Gonna be more blood either way. We can send
Hey,
them to Forkridge, and then
More of that kennel corn. I'm afraid I've eaten it all, but could still use a bit more. You're dwarf a big stomach, you know.
Mira goes inside. Go find him
dear.
some fucking kettle corn.
Oh, thank you so much. You guys are the best. I like all of you.
All right, Anwar. What do you need to see happen here?
Not that I need. It's just they're not soldiers. They're sailors at best.
I was gonna say, actually, no. They literally are like guards. They had crossbows and axes. They're soldiers, basically.
Oh, so I thought they
They're-
were an empire.
They're technically
not,
not
they're-
Empire, but they're dwarven.
They're mercenaries.
Yeah, they're like dwarven
They're a mercenary
mercenaries.
branch
Got
designed to protect like a transport.
Yeah.
I've already said what I think we should do. So
There were a lot of
I'll look
ideas
inside.
floating around. What do you think? Just let him go, send him as a goose chase?
Luke's just gonna be like, listen, it's none of my business. I've been with you guys for a while, but it seems like you've all had ideas, and I think you should all just either elect somebody to be the one who makes the decisions, or you should just vote on the decision. But whatever it is,
I'm cool with
You all
voting.
pitched your ideas.
I'm fine with a vote.
For the record, I am okay with escorting someone if it will be useful. But if it feels like it's not good use of my abilities, then I don't want somebody to get hurt because I'm out doing something that's kind of useless.
I mean, if we have
I trust your judgment on if it's going to be truly worth my time to do that or not.
right.
You guys have been in this resistance thing longer than me. You know better than me.
We've been in this resistance for like a month.
That's longer than me.
To be fair, that is longer. Shit, I guess I got seniority here. All right.
Technically, Chimera has seniority, but I guess you have seniority in the organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you just said you were good with a vote, right?
Yeah. Let's get team voting here, everybody.
Say we dump unconscious guy in the woods and then have Luke escort the other guy to the outskirts of the woods and tell him to head south and warn of the resistance attack.
All right, that's pitch
I'm
one.
rough.
What are the other pitches, just so we know what's on the table here?
Other pitch was
Feed him
Tell
to
him the
Lopaw.
feed him to Lopaw, and then we got tell him the truth and ask him to goose chase, or live the lie and give him the goose chase.
Well, you got
And then 5 is just kind of ended here.
all right. Well, make your votes, and if there's a tiebreaker, I guess I'll just break the tie.
Got to vote for goose chase.
I think dump an unconscious body in the woods that's pretty universal, right?
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
good on that? Okay.
I mean, otherwise I could murder Wake Dude and frame the murder. It'll be messy, might take a few minutes, but I got ideas.
That's
But
the most wild card option, for sure.
we could go ultra wild card, but
You've had a pistol for one day, and it's already like, all right, put the fingerprints on the gun.
What's a pistol?
Oh yeah, we
It's
should
a
have.
shit, we got-
device.
We do need
got
Onwar to
something
take a
to
look
show
at
you.
that. You really do need to look at that. Audra puts her hand up. I do think bringing more people into the fold can only help. I'm for letting this guy know what's up.
we got goose chase and we got bring him in and
Yeah.
goose chase. Cammy?
Still would like to see how Lopo deals with somebody who is surrendered, but if consensus is send them off, then send them off.
That's
Got
one vote
Lopa.
for feed to Lopa.
Yeah.
I think right now we've all voted for different things so far.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Means
two
that
have
Hunter can be the
voted
tiebreaker.
essentially on the same thing.
Yes,
It's
but
just-
one is we tell him who we really are, which is pretty important.
Mhm.
May I offer a compromise so everybody can get a little what they want? You send the one guy off like you said, and the one who's tied up, you feed to Lopaw.
I get the feeling Anwar's not too fond of the moral implications of that. And I respect that. So, unless there are objections, I will scoot that one under the rug.
What do you want to do, Hunter? You're the resistance seniority member here.
Which is weird, right? Like, I'm used to taking orders, being told what's going on.
Now's the time to step up and become a man.
All right, Dad. Paul. Jeez. Been away from Paul too long.
God, I do sound like my own paw.
All right.
Mine's
Let's...
dead. Audra doesn't actually say that.
Just like, and you did it. You made this more socially
Wait a-
awkward than it already was.
Yeah, she doesn't. She
In
doesn't
the
actually
middle
say
of-
that.
We're in the middle of a disagreement. And it seems like there was a lot of discomfort. You made it weirder. Good job.
All right. We'll bring him in the fold. Send him on the goose chase. We'll dump the other guy in the woods. If Dude Man, if we don't like the vibe he's given out after we let him know, we will feed him to Lopo.
I can agree with that.
Well, you guys are good at the talking. I'm good at the woods, and if you need me to drop them off in the woods, I can get them pretty far. Make sure it's not a good trail to come back.
Hell yeah. Also,
Lift them up over my shoulder.
if you're not going to be in the fight with us, if you could kind of search the perimeter and get a backup location for Anwar's family to hide until things clear up.
They're not already at Inger's.
I mean, that's just down the street. Or were we going to get like a more...
It's
There's
safer
my-
now. It's a couple miles away.
There's
Yeah.
my cave.
I mean,
The
either
other-
way, just
The other ogres cleared out.
Just-
They
play sentry. So let them know. Just let them know when if shit's coming out this way. You know what I mean?
all right.
Appreciate you.
Okay. Kamira, you want to tag along, or you stay in here?
Am I needed for anything here?
I don't suppose we need you to open the truth out.
Okay, let's take a walk. I'll go
Do
get
what
him.
you gotta do. All right.
All right, let's start with the talkers.
Woo. All right. How do y'all want to do this? Let's just walk in and break it. All right.
We have to do it somehow. Might as well rip the band-aid off.
I will.
Hey guys.
I will slap 2 glasses down in front of him, and I'll
I think
take
you have
out.
advantage. You have advantage on all charisma checks right now too, because of what he's eating.
Oh yeah, sweet. I'm gonna pour 2 glasses of the small glasses of the pumpkin brandy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll remove one of those.
So
and,
like,
slide one over to him.
I'm all thankful that I'm like over at your safe house and stuff. I appreciate it, but what's the deal now? You guys need like an extra hand? Like you could give me my crossbow back, and I can, I can join
Well-
you guys or whatever. I mean, I'm all Empire, happy to do what I can, and I appreciate that you knew that I wasn't resistance. So definitely willing to return the favor.
I'm going to slide a chair uncomfortably close to him and sit down in it and take a sip of one of the pumpkin brandies and put it back down. Say, "Are you all Empire?"
Is there a certain tone you're intending to give?
I mean, the one I gave, I guess, but kind of an inquisitive, like, kind of pushing his boundaries a little bit, maybe.
He's gonna roll an insight to see if he, because when you say that, he got a 13, so I guess he's a little unsure, but he thinks he's picking up that you're asking like, come on now. He is still convinced that you are Empire,
Mhm.
so he's like, yeah, oh yeah, no, for sure. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. I mean, that's been good to me. Good money. I mean, got me out of the mines. So yeah. Yep. No complaints here.
Hunter's going to take a dagger out and jam it into the table next to him, and then take another sip of the pumpkin brandy and put it down and lean in real close. So who you talk to about the Empire?
I know, and my friends, people, just family. It's like, it's kind of all encompassing, so it comes up in daily talk.
No sensitive information you talk to about the Empire?
No, I'm just there's a wee old honor here.
Any information you talk to anybody about the Resistance?
Oh no, I don't know no resistance.
I'm gonna roll an insight check.
Okay. With a nat frickin' 20, you can tell that he is terrified. He's getting grilled in ways that he doesn't know which way to answer anymore. And he genuinely does not seem to know any resistance, but you can tell he's like, am I supposed to? Or am I really fucking lucky that I don't know any? I don't know anymore. But anyway, no, I swear, I don't know any resistance. I mean, there's like, you hear rumors every once in a while, stuff like that, but no. I mean, well, clearly I did know resistance because there was the Captain Saltbeard. He was resistance apparently, but I didn't know until you got him, and I saw that tattoo on him. That made me know for sure. But I've never seen a tattoo like that in my life, except for that. You hear stories about him, which is why when I saw the tattoo, I kind of recognized what it meant. But I've never seen one on a body before, so no. Did I do something wrong?
No, and that's the part that fucking kills me, man. If you'd done something wrong, this would be easy. So you ain't never seen this symbol before, and he pulls his sleeve, and there's the logo, or there's the tattoo.
What?
And
is this like another double agent thing where you can't? Are you this far in it?
I'll roll my sleeve back up and grab his wrist and slide the tattoo to his wrist and pull his sleeve up, and you've never seen this tattoo before.
I no longer understand what's happening.
I'll pull the tattoo back as I roll up the sleeve.
What? So
All right.
Wait. Did you do that on the Captain?
That's a neat.
Okay, with me right now. Oh, you're fucking Empire! Are you fucking Resistance? Which one is it?
Well, I'm the person telling you. You need to go to, where did we say? Waterwheel?
I think Fork Ridge.
Fork Ridge. You need to go to Fork Ridge and warn Imperials that the Resistance is coming.
Are they?
And then get your ass out of that town as fast as possible, because they're going to want to look deep into your mind. And
you're gonna let me go, and I need to go to Fork Ridge. Tell them that the Resistance is coming, and then get the hell out of there.
Pretty much. And
I just saw 2 orcs take Jones out. What's happening to him?
He'll be fine. He didn't see shit. He's gonna wake up with a bad hangover and wondering what the hell just happened to him.
Wondering what the hell just happened to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened to me right now.
We're good at what we do, if anyone asks. So...
Is this a triple cross? I mean...
If anybody...
Okay, so you're just gonna tell me what to do, and then you're gonna let me go, right? You're gonna let me go. You're gonna let me go, right? You're gonna let me go.
Yeah. We're gonna let you go.
Okay. Fork Ridge, got it. You got it. He got it, man. Absolutely.
And so I'm kind of sorry about this. And I'm gonna, like, twist the arm that I had a hold on, and with that knife, I'm going to quickly, like, just... Not too deep, just slice the, like... base, like, kind of pyramid, a general logo of Resistance on his arm, and then punch him right in the face. And then grab his hair and look him dead in the eyes and give him the finger and say, Eat shit, squid.
Yeah, dick! He's gonna run out of there. He's gonna like falling over like roots and stuff as he's like kicking past the trees, just trying to fucking book it.
Man, that wasn't great to do. It didn't feel good. But if someone looks into his face, that's what they're gonna see. Cause that's gonna be what he remembers the most.
All right.
So, yeah.
So by tell him the truth, you meant fuck with him.
I mean, kinda.
Oh, okay. That's not what I meant. That's not what I thought tell him the truth was.
I mean, it's
He
Truth is
voted with his
complicated, wasn't
actions.
truth
uh,
is complicated,
I
cutting
think
over.
he still doesn't know what you are.
which is great because
really doesn't.
we're trying to
Let me,
cover our
let me
tracks,
roll
too.
one last insight as he's booking the hell out of there. He's like, "What just happened?" He got a 7. He doesn't have any fucking idea.
I guess
We're gonna
problem
cut-
solved. We're gonna be safe.
We're
I can explain
going
my thought
to.
process off screen later, but like, I don't know. I can't say that was the right decision, but it was a decision.
We are now going to cut over to Chimera with Luke, and I guess Chimera, you said you were the one who kind of like picked him up and taken him out. So at some point in the woods, Luke's gonna be like, you want me to take a turn with that, or?" Man, he's kind of like making sure you don't like step on anything that's gonna like cause a, cause any tracks to be found or anything like that. Here, just
Have you
follow
ever
me.
seen like somebody just so like not so like, oh, I'm just so fucking mad, but like just irritated to the point where they're just like, I gotta clean something.
Yep.
It's kind of that. It's kind of like, let me pack this heavy thing and just like let this be where my frustration is just hauling through this. But eventually, she'll probably pass him over to Luke because she's probably realizing, oh man, I'm really making his job difficult right now.
I need to check his wisdom score real quick. Oh, he's a ranger, so it should be pretty good. Let's see here. Okay. So with what he rolled, there's definitely a little bit of like, oh, hey, watch your step here, and he's like not at first picking up on the fact that you are pissed. And at some point, he looks at your face and realizes, like, oh, I've not been helping for like 10 or 15 minutes now. Okay. No, you can take him. It's fine. But whatever you want, just please watch your step over here. Okay. I'll just clear out a path.
You can. It's fine. You can take him. I just.
No, not that you can. You're plenty strong. I'm not questioning that.
Oh no, it's the scenario. It's everything, really. It's yeah, not killing people is preferable, but also sending one directly to a city to potentially be grilled for something and then hoping that it takes days for them to get back to us to and hopefully we're already finished and I don't. She stops and like nearly just like throws him to the ground, but like stops herself mid-go, so she's like kind of cradling the poor like Jones, I suppose.
Yeah. Should I have stood by you more? I mean, I thought that
No,
I didn't know what to. I don't do well with conflict.
I didn't like my suggestion either, but I would have much preferred to figure out how things were going to go in the city before we got to the city. Please take him. I am. Here you go.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's just a whole lot of open possibilities and kind of getting to see them all flash before me is daunting, as it were. So.
Well, is there any only way you can kind of try to test things out with low paw. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's a bad thing to do.
Quitting and becoming a hermit, maybe.
Okay. Well, yeah. I guess you can't be a hermit like with another person because that's not being a hermit then. But that's kind of what I've been doing, and I wouldn't mind having a partner if you're still. I know we had talked earlier about maybe like trying something, but well, anyway, yeah. This looks like as good a spot as any. And he just goes, do we leave him tied up? Or...
I don't know. I was thinking of like stabbing a dagger into the ground, and then he can get there and like untie himself or something.
That works for me. I've got plenty of daggers. I got plenty of knives. I got a short sword too. That might work if. I don't know. Whatever.
I think that works.
All right. Just gonna pull out one of several blades and just stick it into the ground. Well, I'm sure he'll figure this out eventually.
He should. He's been out. Actually, he's been out for a minute, and she'll reach into her bag and like pull out like a little thing of rations and like toss it next to the dagger and be like, "This should be good."
Great. Cool. I guess we'll head back then. But kind of about what I was talking about earlier. Well, I guess I'm not escorting anybody now. You're heading off to like war. I don't know. What do you think? Just as a person, as a mother, as an orc. What do you think our role here is? Like, there's a bunch of other orcs. Like, I'm pretty sure I've got cousins who, like, lost their land and might be in one of those tribes coming over. I don't know. Is it like a family sense of duty thing? Or I don't know.
It's. I mean, you know, I've lived where I've lived my whole life. I mean, I don't know anybody personally that had any great struggle. I know that my mother never wanted me to go to Waterwheel for that reason, though. I don't have any particular attachments to it, and outside of gaining more forces and some kind of potential alliance between the big three and the rebellion, I don't want to be frank. But at this point, I've done a lot of things that I don't want to do. So I was only partially joking about just quitting and becoming a hermit, but that does sound wonderful. Whether it's a hermit alone or a hermit with you.
Yeah. That could be
And
nice.
I don't think it's going to end well.
Well, don't say that. Come on. Gotta look up and see the sun's always gonna come up, you know? Even on the rainiest of days. Like today, good God, it's
Been raining.
just been
forever.
raining this whole fucking time.
No, I think that at the end of the day, orcs will reclaim Waterwheel. But I don't think it's gonna be done the way it should, or by whom it should.
I've seen so much hesitation from your group, and I'm facing so much hesitation. Are you sure we should even be a part of this? I mean, if you think they can take it anyway, or do you think, I don't know, whatever I can do to make your life easier. Is there something you would like of me?
I want you to be safe.
Do you want me to go with you guys? Do you want me to?
I couldn't ask you to do that.
Well,
We left you at that lumber mill that night in the dark with everything on fire. I don't want to think of that again or deal with that again.
well, if me being there is just gonna get in the way of you keeping yourself safe, then I'll keep my distance. 'Cause
Please be safe.
I cannot imagine what I would do if you lost. So you better do whatever you can to save yourself. If you have to fight, then fight. But look out for yourself before everyone else. Okay? That's not selfish. You've potentially got a daughter out there somewhere.
Potentially. And she'll reach out and like just grab his hand as they start to walk back to Tammy house.
Alrighty. Anything else anybody wants to do until Twig returns? Twig will be returning later in that day. I think people are good. All right, so Twig.
I gotta wait for him to come back.
Yeah. So eventually, as day turns into evening, zipping through, eventually Twig will be like, "Zoom! Guys, I'm back! Hey, how's it going?"
Welcome.
And you guys were
complicated
worried we
question.
were gonna have to summon him back here from his vacation. Look at him.
No, it's alright. It's awesome. It was awesome. And better not back.
Did you
How was your trip?
enjoy
Twig?
yourself?
It was really good. I saw it. It was beautiful. It was everything I ever to be. And then it went away. And so I'm back.
So listen, Twig, we have a job for you if you'd like it.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just back from vacation. Well rested. Okay.
Picturing that, was it My Favorite Martian with
I've not thought about
What's his
that
name?
movie in a long time.
Yeah, me either.
I just remember one joke where he's like, "Time for bed," clicks the light back on, well rested. I'm like,
We have a very fast metabolism and we sleep for not very long.
well, we have a covert mission for you.
Alright.
Audra and I would be helping you out with.
Sure. Why not?
Have you ever run on water before?
Yes. For short distances. Yes.
How would you like to do it for a long distance?
Sure.
I thought you'd be more excited by the prospect of that. All right.
Man, I think we can get Twig to do literally anything, guys.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Hey, you want to rob a bank for us while you're at it?
What's a bank?
Probably would be good at it, to be honest.
Yeah.
A riverbank? How do you rob a riverbank?
No, we need you to check out Water Wheel. You're going to go on a little mission and see
Oh,
what
okay.
the defenses are like.
I was just here a few days ago, but alright, yeah, sure.
Oh.
We're going to help you make sure you're a little bit more prepared this time.
No, okay.
So I guess we'll like lead him down to the edge of the woods, closer, and you got this for an hour.
When you guys, so this is Audra and Anwar going together?
Yeah.
Alright, so Hunter and Kamira will put a pin in anything you might be doing during this night. Audra and Anwar, you are going to take your leave this evening to go down towards the towards Water Wheel. When you get close enough to be able to see the other side, close to where you're going to be doing these spells, the thing you immediately notice is you have been told by Twig earlier that there was like a big warship docked like right outside Water Wheel, but that was before they potentially got a tip off of this whole plan of Water Wheel. That was, I think the last report you got was like the day before you went to the safe house and then the whole Mind Flayer thing happened. When you get there, the immediate thing you see, and you've been told of all sorts of like large numbers of soldiers, all sorts of stuff, that it's pretty stocked up. You go there is no ship. There is like nothing in the water. And just looking through, like looking past, you don't get the sense that there's definitely some Imperial presence over there, but it's hard to tell from the other side from like 200 feet plus away. But you get the sense that it doesn't quite add up to what you were expecting.
I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we spread some misinformation that we were planning to take a different town?
Earlier in the day, you did send what's his name, but he would not have gotten. I mean,
Yeah, he can't cover that kind of ground.
Oh, we did that today. Okay.
However, to get to where he was going, he would have had to take the ferry, unless he had some other way to get across. He had to take that ferry over right near Water Wheel to get to where he was going.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible he could have told somebody in Water Wheel on his way. but he's probably hasn't made it much further. He had what, a half a day's head start on you or something. Half a day to like 3/4 of a day head start on you. So it's possible he could have said something in Water Wheel.
Yeah, but realistically, this is that wouldn't be the reason for this.
I don't know.
Most likely.
You are up. You're allowed to have all of the theories you want.
Okay. Or just tell us, Richard. Come on.
No.
But
yeah, I will say that the Imperial presence is far less than it reportedly was just a few days prior.
Twig, there were
Well, that makes me feel
definitely
odd.
many more ships here last time, correct?
There was one big one.
And now there isn't.
No, like you look over on either side, like there is no traffic going through. The chain is up currently. There are no ships at all.
I mean, it could have just dropped them off and left.
Right. Twig, last time you ran through, do you remember roughly how many Imperial soldiers there were? Would you be able to tell if there were an increased presence?
I gotta run over and see. You said you guys going to do some kind of spells for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Audra, you should go first.
All right. Now, Twig, I just want you to do something for me while I cast this spell.
Okay.
There is a god called the Becoming. Okay.
Uh-huh.
He's all in favor of the forest. I know you are too.
Uh-huh.
And he's the one. Well, he's the one whose power I can use to do this. Okay.
Okay.
So just think about that while I'm giving you this power.
Think
Okay.
about coming. Think about
No.
coming.
No.
No.
I'm not trimming that bit out of the stream.
What?
The Becoming. It's one.
The Becoming.
Yes. Either way, well, here you go. And she'll like kind of tap him on the head and cast Water Walk on him. Well, hold on. Sorry, I think it's like a minute-long cast.
Okay, so you're just like doing some kind of prayer for him that lasts for a while.
Let me check the I need to check the casting time. Sorry. Casting. Oh, it's just one action. Never mind.
Oh,
I
but
do
you're
just.
doing it, are you doing it as a ritual or doing it?
I don't know if it is a ritual.
Oh, okay.
It is a ritual.
I mean, I have time. Like, we're going the next morning, so like I can use a slot, and I need to swap it out anyway the next day, so I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just tap him, and then give him Water Walk.
Okie dokie. What else?
Mine doesn't come from a god. Mine comes from science. So Anwar's gonna pull out a little neck choker.
Mhm.
He's like, "Go ahead and put this on." And when he puts it on, first it latches to his neck, but then it
Well, tight fit. That's all right. That's all right.
just try not to strain yourself too much. I'm still working out the kinks, and it's going to almost like a invisible shield is going to just kind of like the Dune shield a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go all over his body, and then each is going to kind of like fade into like a predator camouflage. Each kind of box, that polygon that forms around him. Looking
What's
at
happening?
one side.
I hear like a
Right.
hum coming from the thing, but
Yeah, if it starts to beep, it means it's about to break. I kind of can't really work around that, but
okay.
you have about an hour. You're invisible and you can walk on water.
Yeah.
So,
Oh shit! Is that what you were doing to me? All right.
So you have an hour. So make sure you're not there. Okay, bye.
It probably takes you a minute to realize, like, he's gone, isn't he? Yep. I've been.
Well, I feel like he would hit the water, and then you just see the dash.
He's just. Yeah.
Wait.
As you're just kind of sitting there waiting, I imagine kind of like from the distance you're at, you're kind of up on a hill a little bit. You get a little bit more of a view. You can see that there is a blood moon off in the distance with very dark clouds
Ganon is rising.
very far away.
Hmm.
Anwar and Audra, is there any RP that you do once you're like, oh, well, he's gone now?
So the becoming. Is that
Yeah.
your new god?
Well, you knew that.
Hey, you just don't talk about him.
I don't. But last time we spoke, he said that the more I talk about him, the more powerful he gets. And, therefore the more powerful I get. Pretty 1-to-1 there. So, gotta...
Is he nice?
I'm gonna say yes, but it's hard to tell. He's very mechanical. He has a pleasant
Mechanical
voice.
god?
It's not the voice you'd expect to hear out of him. It's... Anwar, have you ever thought of what a forest might look like if it was all metallic and constructed rather than grown organically?
Many times, yes.
Okay. Well, that's kind of what his forest looked like.
Wow.
And he's robotic, but also animal-like. Almost like a bipedal deer or something like that.
Think he might be related to Arantis somehow?
I don't know. He said he was new. I don't know how new. And Arantis is old. I don't know
Very
how old. So I've never thought to ask him, but I can do that next time. The becoming, I mean. I don't know when we're going to see Arantis again. Cut to Twig comes back. I found a robot. I've never thought to ask him, though, that, Anwar. That's a good point. I can ask him next time.
I mean, all the nature robots that we know of, we only know of one.
Right. Just never thought to ask him. I'll do that next time. Tonight, probably. And, did you get a chance to look at that pistol thing we found?
Oh, yeah. I guess it was given to him at the last time.
Probably at some point somebody was like, oh yeah, check this out. And maybe while you're waiting, you can check it out.
No, I have the pistol. It's mine. I'm not giving it to him. He didn't like my plan.
Okay.
He doesn't get the gun anymore. No, I gave it to him.
Richard, do fireworks exist in your setting?
The pyrotechnics wand sure does.
So would he know what gunpowder is? I'm trying to think of what gunpowder is without gun in it.
Yeah.
Flash powder?
I
Well, no,
mean,
that's
just
for
as a
camera.
general component that may be used in certain fire spells. Maybe it's like, oh yeah, this is an interesting way. I never would have thought of using it this way, but yeah, I guess technically, scientifically, that works.
How about boom
You know-
powder?
Flash Iron
boom.
Man is big into it.
You said the captain just had this?
Talking to you, Audra.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You said the captain just had this on him?
He did. He didn't. Did he? He did get it. He did fire it, once, right?
Yep.
And
clipped,
happened to hit Hunter while blind.
It clipped Hunter in the shoulder just barely. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and he sort of squeezed it, and it sent out some sort of like a smaller arrow, I guess is how I would describe it.
It's built very similar to the grapple gun I made for Hunter, though obviously it looks like there's a fire and piece of metal on the inside instead of a
Right.
hook.
Well, Hunter's is for mobility, and oh, Hunter, please don't do that with the pistol. While Hunter's is for mobility, this thing, I have a feeling, could be a lot more dangerous. I don't know if I like it very much.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it requires much skill. Just pull the trigger and kill something.
Yeah, not a fan. That was Tony and Audra saying that.
I'll look into it more, but see if it can be used for anything helpful for us.
Yeah. Have we did we fired off a flare, right, in this campaign at that one fort?
At
It was
the
a
logging
wand.
thing,
Right.
you sure did.
But so I guess this would mechanically kind of appear similar to us, except it's not about sending a signal, it's about, well, I guess still sending a signal.
It
But,
definitely
yeah.
seems more mechanical than the wand.
Okay.
The wand still is very much magical.
Oh, it was a wand that we sent to flare up. Okay.
Yep.
Well then, yeah, so just... Yeah, I'm imagining you can figure something out with this.
Yeah. What's interesting about this is that not requiring magic means that anyone can use it with any amount of affinity. And it can't be, as far as I know, shut down, though maybe water would shut it down. That might do it.
I also have to imagine it would take some degree of skill to use properly. You know, my crossbow takes a degree of skill.
To an extent, yeah, but a lot of people use crossbows.
You're welcome to make an investigation check if you would like to see if you want to, or if there's like a tinkerer's tool thing. Either of those would work.
Actually, so something I just looked at level 6, artificers get expertise in all of their tools.
Nice.
So
That's double
he's
proficiency,
kind of really
right?
good. Yup.
Watch it come in at less than a 10.
I haven't played a skill monkey in a
Probably.
long time, so I don't remember.
That's a d20 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1d4, because why not? Guidance. And, it was on a 22.
It was on a 20, but it ended up being a dirty 20 anyway. Yeah, you look at this and you see that it has much more of a chance for misfiring than like a crossbow was. So it's like, it looks like this is a very early prototype. And definitely like, I might have made it better, but you kind of get the gist of how it's supposed to work.
A little crude.
Realizing that like if it broke, you could probably fix it pretty easily.
I suppose we've missed our chance to ask, but we probably should have asked Donner how many of these things are out there. If it's just something his captain carried, or if perhaps the Empire has more. 'Cause if the Empire has
His
more...
captain was carrying it. I'm guessing they must be pretty rare.
Right. I guess my fear is that the Empire has more.
Audra, I might be retconning this, but I think you heard at some point the captain saying something like, you guys are at me again? Well, now I'm ready for you. And that's when he like exposed his pistol.
Well, you can't do that. That's a family show.
Okay, so based off of that, then then it's probably isn't mass-produced in any way then. Okay. Well, I still fear it getting into Empire hands, regardless.
Great.
And while you're kind of making that small talk, sorry, did you have one more thing you wanted to do?
No, I was just going to say I might hand it off to my dad if he can investigate it.
Here, Dad, have a gun.
Eventually, you're just gonna see
to
like
join you
the
up,
water.
Padawan.
You're just gonna see the water zip along again, like it almost looks like a flying fish, just kind of like skipped. It's just such a blur. But eventually, kind of coming back to you. Once he kind of settles down, he's just like, "Hey, I'm back."
Oh, how did it go?
What did you find?
He's like,
Where are you? Where?
"Oh, right, you can't see this."
If you...
Anwar's gonna just open up his little data pad and deactivate invisibility.
Okay. Here.
Thanks.
Okay, so I don't really know what to make of this, but I got a bad feeling about it, because, I don't know. Like, even for nighttime, there's, less pedestrian traffic than usual, and there's, a lot of guards around the buildings all of a sudden, which, I don't know, it's kind of like police state or whatever you guys call it, you know? It's, different than the last time I saw it. And, well, the drawbridge from both levels is currently up, or it's currently down, so you go, I zipped up and down.
You went into the Empire zone.
The Jester's Pride.
Yeah.
And how did that look?
I didn't get inside, but it went all around it. That seems to be where their lord is.
See a lot of people with the masks, the cultists.
No, did not see any of those outside. No.
When you say it seemed like there were less people around, were there also fewer guards? Or
Oh yeah, definitely. Overall, less guards than before. And went up to the barracks, and there's definitely it's not like they're all packed in there. But yeah, definitely less guards than there used to be, and over near the gates too. Less than there were.
And
But still, it's weird. There's something weird about it.
few regards back in Jester's Pride as well.
Yeah, overall everywhere, definitely.
Huh.
But where they're stationed is kind of weird.
We're gonna need to
Somebody's
message
off
the
here.
madam sooner. Well, I guess Audra hasn't actually talked about using the message spell yet. We can save that, but
Or the sending spell.
yeah, sending. Sorry, yeah. She'll
Audra mentioned it at some point, but no one's used it yet.
Did I? Okay, I can't remember because the idea was like, well, if they're using these like squids to send messages around, I bet I can too. But I don't remember if that was actually said.
You said it out loud.
Okay,
I think you only said it to your immediate party though. You didn't say it to anybody else.
Anwar, remember that spell I wanted to use where I could communicate across long distances?
Yeah.
I think we're gonna need to talk to the madam pretty soon to get an idea of what's going on in there.
Can you do it now?
I can. And I will do. I've never tried before, so I don't really know what to expect. It's got to be similar to Rain's book, to some degree. All right, here goes. And she'll kind of like go into like a prayer stance, and then just kind of like picture. She's gonna like visualize it's her and the madam standing like together in the Becoming's forest, like that's like,
interesting.
like
I
imagery
like that.
for it,
Mhm.
and just like.
Wait! Before you say anything, just make sure you're very calm about it, because sometimes people get freaked out when there's messages that are sent in their mind.
Right. What's going on in there? Are you okay? Is everybody dead? So let's see, I get 25 words, right? Okay, so it's just, Madam, it's Audra from the Resistance. We heard there might be some sort of lockdown happening in town. What is going on? Are you safe?
There's going to be a bit of a pause. And having never done this before, you're not sure how long it's supposed to take until there's a response.
She's like staring at the madam in her visualization, but the madam's just like,
Yeah, the madam's just like kind of lowering her
yeah.
head, and
I'm kind of like doing one of these.
so yeah, she's just kind of like straight down. But eventually, you're going to visualize her look up at you, and give that smile that she always does. And she looks over you and says, "Oh, I hear y'all, but honey, I only talk to friends in person. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm quite busy with company. Bye-bye now." And then she's just gonna fade away into the leaves.
Audra turns to Anwar. That was not helpful at all. And I'm gonna
Did
relay,
that go through?
and I'll relay the same message. I'll relay the response I got.
I thought I copied and pasted that. Let's try it.
She could be compromised, or, with the whole mind reader thing.
Don't worry, Sid. I can do it
afraid.
one more time. I can try again with someone else.
Yeah.
But that's all I got as far as tonight.
Could you reach out to my sister?
That's who I was thinking.
That'd be good to know.
Okay. So I will do the same, and now I'm picturing Opal in the forest. And, similar question. Hello, Opal, it's Audra. Something seems a little off with the madam, and I've heard the town is on lockdown. Are you okay? What's happening?
Same pause as before, and it's like, is it coming? What's gonna happen? And so again, you visualize and you see her on the other side, just kind of kneeling down. And then at some point, she just kind of fades away without a response.
Obviously, I know generally speaking, all the squids are mind readers. Do we have reason to believe that this sort of communication could get intercepted? Is there something I could roll? Like, to sort of
you
theorize that or
could-
think about that?
Yeah, I guess roll Arcana.
Okay. All right. That's just a flat for me. 11.
Okay. Nothing comes to mind as to why they should be able to intercept, because it's not even like you're using intelligence, you're using your mind to communicate, you're using a divine being to kind of cross over. So it doesn't feel like they should be intercepting this.
Okay.
But it's hard to be truly confident in that. You're going off a complete guesswork.
Yeah. Well, Anwar, that time I didn't get an answer. And either that means they can't give a straight answer for some reason, or something has befallen your sister. I don't know. But I don't know. Perhaps the madam was speaking in code in some way. Perhaps the company she's referring to is, the soldiers. Maybe she doesn't feel safe answering clearly right now. I don't know, but I'm kind of with Twig now in that I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
If my sister opted not to talk, then something is definitely wrong.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Sibling humor.
You're telling me Opal didn't talk?
I think that's a good fade down to black.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Fair enough. Back over to Chimera and Hunter. Is anything going on with you two? Chimera, I know you wanted to do a dream. We can keep it relatively short and TLDR if you want.
Oh yeah.
Technically,
if we don't have
this would be 2 nights from the last time that you.
I got nothing. Aside from just kind of trying to keep busy.
Okay, so you're not going to do a dream this time?
No, I'll hold on to it.
Okay. Hunter, is there anything else you're doing this night?
I think Hunter, he is replicating a ritual that he has seen. He saw his trainer Grimshaw do in Berserkshire while he was out there, where he's just kind of chanting his own thing, and he's sharpening every single blade and laying it in front of him. So he's got Mabir sharpened and laid out in front of him. He's got his dagger of venom sharpened, laid out. He's got his dagger of poisoning mind sharpened and extra daggers, and then every arrow. And he's kind of making this fanning art as he's sharpening and laying out each implement of death in front of him. And then he shines his armor, oils it, his leather armor, and just thinking about everything he knows about the battle ahead, and preparing in his mind the best of possibilities, the worst of possibilities, and everything in between. And once he has become comfortable with the possibility of his own death, he rests next to his armor and meditates, and just asks Ronan for guidance and support and insight, and just kind of meditates until something disturbs him.
Alrighty. During that time, he is definitely going to be... You're going to get visions of him using certain spells that you now know. What's an offensive spell that you've just learned recently?
I would love to tell you. he's honestly the only offensive spell he has learned is create bonfire.
All right, that doesn't lend
I
itself to what
wouldn't-
I was thinking then.
Is that really
well,
an
okay.
offensive spell? I guess.
I mean, it is. It create he like. I feel like it's an evolution of well, a blending of Hellish Rebuke and Thaumaturgy.
Mm.
Okay.
Um,
So you see a number of things, a number of images of just him going ham on some people that appear to be Imperial, but also just some other randos. Like you just get these visions of him just like slicing up into someone's throat, nearly decapitating them, just like really gruesome stuff. And at one time, he like taps somebody on the shoulder. They turn around, he creates a bonfire right behind them, and then he pushes them into the bonfire, and they just go up in flames. Just like all sorts of just fucked up shit. And at some point, like, there's just like a guy's like charring corpse, and he uses it to light a cigar.
I think as we kind of flash between like these visions and Hunter back and forth, you see like Hunter's muscles like you know when you see like a horse's muscles like twitch or flinch,
Mhm. Yeah.
like you just see him like completely still, but like the muscles flinching to like emulate what's going on in these visions of like the choreography of violence going on.
Coincidentally, that is also what Anwar and Audra see as they're coming on up,
Mhm.
and the ogre has just kind of like fallen asleep by the tree, and he's just like kicking with his one leg he has left, like a dog dreaming, and he's just like,
Aw.
and that's what you come back to. Ronkin and Trax, who is in a wolf form, are gonna kind of like spearhead and come around as you guys are going. You can tell that they've basically been scouting, making sure there's no more of those octopus or any other Imperial presence. Pretty much this whole time they've been pretty busy doing that. But they come back and just gonna check in on you and make sure that everything's good.
As we pass by the ogre, Anwar's gonna whisper, "You know, for what it's worth, Audra, I don't think ogres hold grudges. They're not the brightest, but they also tend to move on pretty quickly. I think you might be okay with that one."
I think so too. It just, still important for someone like me to apologize, considering I don't do it very often.
I'm proud of you.
Shut up.
I know that we're getting shorter on time, so I'll try to kind of TLDR some things. Ronkin definitely wants to check in with Audra and just make sure, like, hey, we're gonna like go up, and this is a big one. We're potentially gonna die.
The big one, and yet maybe not as big as expected. The guard presence hasn't been increased, which is good for us, but communication I sent in was strange.
Very strange indeed. Well, if we got lucky, maybe because they knew what we were doing, they figured they'd lose and just pulled their ranks out.
I guess we'll find out tomorrow, won't we?
So yeah, just checking in. Where Luke's just gonna be like, Chimera, well, I guess I'm gonna go back to my cave, I guess, unless. I guess I could just say goodnight here.
Well, wow, that was a mess. You're more than welcome to stay if you want.
Oh, I see your couch is already taken, so.
Audra's just spread out as usual.
There's bedroom? Or, I mean, you can go and we can meet up after.
Oh, like your bedroom or if you have extra blankets, I can sleep on the floor or whatever. It's fine.
I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Okay, Anything just kind of like a bearskin or whatever. I'm pretty good with anything like that.
Get inside. Come on.
We need a different music, different background music.
You're just gonna hear like a little,
Wow, wow, wow.
and he's just gonna have his dog kind of like circle around, just sit nearby the fireplace, and then he is going to go inside and shut the door, and it's like
Fade to black.
Duel and Brianna all over again. We don't know. We don't know what happened.
But I feel like Chimera might be a little more forthcoming. She'll be like, "Yo, Hunter, I'm in a good mood today."
That's up to Chimera.
It's true.
Duel took it with him to the grave. So
we'll burn that
see,
bridge when we get to it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
was
We
gonna say,
still
Duel
Duel
didn't
still.
die. Oh, he did die. Technically didn't tell anyone before he died.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was on his tombstone. Here lies Duel Brightstone. Did I?
I don't want to talk about it.
Cut to the following morning, and unlike other morning rains where it's just drizzling or raining, there is a thick thunderstorm that has come in, and a number of you are woken up with a crash of thunder as there's just a bright light that goes across. And like, if any of you step outside, poor little Mamushka, poor big Mamushka, it's just like, it's just like pouring down. Like, you know, when like you're looking outside and you're like, I don't want to walk the 20 feet to get to my car right now. It's raining too hard. That's what it is. It is just.
Audra is
Mamushkas.
like, Audra goes out without her armor because she was sleeping without it, and you know, being like the nature-prone, you know, furball is just like standing in there and just like making you know all her hair like run down all wet and just looking up at it. Just, I don't like this. Looks over at Mamushka. Hey, there's a fire inside. You can come inside and be warm.
Fire!
Fire.
Fire! Let's take a step forward. Luckily, this was made for people fairly large on the orcish side, so barely he's able to like kind of get his way in there, kind of squeezing through a bit. And I'm gonna roll real quick. Yep. He is going to just kind of step over the couch and just boom, sit down on it and break it in half.
I knew that was coming.
Oh, poor couch.
And with his metal clanking boot and just how big he is, it's like boom, boom. Everyone in the house is fucking awake at this point. If the lightning and the thunder didn't do it, this did.
This guy's gonna be the MVP of the battle. I can just tell.
Fire. What's everybody doing?
Fire.
How does the dog react?
Yeah, the dog who was like nearby. Just
And that wakes Luke up, and then that wakes Cammy up. Yeah, perfect.
just everybody's fucking awake at this point. Just like, God damn it. Sorsha had like a little hammock that was like tied up, kind of high up somewhere, and she's just like, oh no. Oh.
From the back of the house, you just hear, "What the fuck was that?"
It's like, then you just hear Luke being like, does anybody remember? I gave the wolf a name.
I think it's
He's
just
like-
Wolf.
It's like, Wolfgang, shut the fuck up! Just the dog just like
Dog.
runs out into the pouring rain, runs right back in, and just like starts scratching at the door to Kamira's room.
Oh,
I let the dog in because I'm a sucker for that bullshit.
Like, oh no, you're gonna, and it just like runs up to Luke and just starts looking at her like, oh, okay, I'm up.
I'd like to use the reaction to intercept.
You're just like running in there like, hey, puppy.
I think at the door, Hunter like drapes the dog with the Vanta black cloak and gives it a scratch on the noggin, and then immediately goes to prepare the closest approximation to coffee there is in this dwelling.
Give me an animal handling check real quick for your interception.
Hey.
All right, yeah. do really well, and the dog's just like, wait, friend? Huh? What's that? Oh, suddenly I'm in a good mood. Hey! And just follows you.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll prepare as much close approximation to coffee as possible for all that are at least 2 cups for all in the dwelling.
Luke like crawls over and shuts the door and just looks over to Chimera. Did he see too much? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Am I being weird? Oh god, I'm making it weird. Well, they're gonna think whatever they're gonna think based off of, but whatever. You know, they don't need to know.
Hey, some people won't care. Andrew won't care.
Yeah,
all right,
I think Hunter prepares a breakfast and like he's very like 1,000-yard stare while he's cooking, just like staring into the abyss. Whether it's like bacon or the coffee or whatever, it's just like very like
Cut to
As you
reverse
mind is
shot.
elsewhere.
Cut to reverse of very tall Audra behind you, just looking down. Hunter, did you sleep well? You seem distracted.
You rang.
You know what? I slept surprisingly well. Just got a lot on the mind right now. How did you sleep?
Fine. I feel well rested and well prepared.
That's good. Got the closest approximation to coffee I could get in this dwelling. Would you like a cup?
I would.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please don't sneak up on me like that.
Sorry. If I had my armor on, there would have been no sneaking.
Oh, it's cool. I don't have any knives on me right now. Just kidding. I got this one.
I assumed.
Yeah. You know me. We've been learning a lot about each other.
Indeed. Coffee.
As you sit with your coffee, at some point it just really starts to sink in. Like, today's the day. Today is the day. It's gonna be late at night, but today is the day that shit is gonna go down, and you are going to invade a city for the first time, and people can potentially, you know, innocent people on either side. A lot of people could die by the time you go to sleep next.
Based on Anwar's studies, is there any way he could try and determine how long this rain is going to last?
Yeah, go for it. Give me
All
a
day and
nature
all
check.
of the night.
You have a good feeling it's gonna last well into the evening. Not sure if it will last into the night or not.
It's not great.
Is that a nature?
I was
that an insight?
inciting the foreshadowing elements. That is the super heavy thunderstorm.
Inciting the DM.
Yeah, it's shit's gonna go down. Shit's gonna go down.
Fucking knew it.
Let's hope these orcs are strong. Generally speaking, mud isn't good for your side of the battlefield. Everyone should be really rested for today and prepare for what's coming.
At some point, before we head off to battle, Audra's actually going to walk back out into the rain and just do the like you know, the way you'd stand in a shower and just let it run over you, and just kind of like say her, you know, do her communications with the becoming like that, just like standing out in the rain, just like, all right, man, this one's for you. Let's do this.
All right. So are you doing a prayer to him real quick?
Yeah, just like,
Okay.
hey, it's coming up in a few hours, and I don't want to die, and I don't want my friends to die. I don't want my resistance allies to die. Let's do this, you know?
As the rain pours over you, at some point the rain gets so heavy that it completely obscures the view of the house that you're nearby, and it's just nothing but leaves and rain. And at some point, from behind a tree, the becoming walks out toward you.
She like opens her eyes thinking she's like done the prayer, and then she's like,
It's finally time.
What are you
Finally
doing
time.
here?
I thought a good change of scenery could be nice. And it's also the conditions of the battlefield you may be on tonight.
You should meet the others.
The others aren't here right now.
Wait,
You're,
what?
you're welcome to go look and see, but it's just us.
I know. I believe you.
Well, I've been hearing what you were saying in your prayers and saying about how you were having some frustrations with getting knocked down a whole lot. I appreciate that you keep on getting back up again.
Yeah.
That is how it goes.
You have my friends to thank for that. They've helped me up more than once.
Indeed. Well, even so, I thought I might give you a bit of training. So maybe get some nice techniques up your sleeve. Make you more of a frontline fighter if you wish. Granted, this is not going to be training that's going to help you in any kind of way and being part of a more of a party, but if you want some advice on how to stay up when you want to be a frontline fighter, well, I guess I can give some to you.
I mean, you've given me so much already, but we've never trained in that way. I want to say yes just because I want to train with you.
Very good. Come over here and let's pray. He's going to put a hand on your shoulder, and he's going to teach you a spell that you already have access to, but just for flavor-wise, he's going to teach you this spell of inspiring. It's called inspiring speech, but he's going to describe it as inspiring prayer.
Do I have access to that? I didn't know that.
It's a cleric spell, level 3, and it gives up to 5 people 5 temp HP. And so he's gonna like tell you all these like tips on like, all right, first you cast aid at like level 3, and then like you're gonna get that 10 HP, and then you're gonna get this 5 HP on top of it. He's gonna like give you all these like tips over like, and here's how you're gonna stay alive for as long as you can. So basically, he's just gonna give you like, I'll just give you a little handout, like a cheat sheet for like, hey, if you want some tips and strategies, here you go. There might be tons of times that it is not the right strategy at all, but it's something to give you at some point. If you're wanting like the
oh yeah, here it is, motivational speech.
It's a pretty neat one. I think it's not always on every website, but it is officially. It might be one of the newer spells.
Oh, it's from Acquisitions Incorporated. That's why I haven't seen it before.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, yeah, you still. I'm gonna give you access to it. So a lot of this might be like, yeah, you already get this, and other stuff might be useful things that you might not have.
I was about to say this is just better aid, but aid lasts for 8 hours, and this is just 1. That's the main difference there.
Well, aid is max HP, while motivational speech is temp HP, so you can actually use both, which
right.
is pretty neat. So those can stack.
Well, I might just do this at a 3rd level. Oh no, it is a 3rd level. My bad.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
shoot.
Noted.
No, I didn't want to do that. Ah.
Each affected creature gains 5 temp, advantage on Wisdom saving throws. It makes what makes affected creature. Huh. Okay. Oh, interesting. The spell ends once you lose the temp HP.
Yeah. Once you lose the temp HP, then you don't get the advantage after you're hit.
Interesting.
Until then, you do.
I might just stack aid like I was initially going to. But I was unaware of this spell, so thank you for introducing it to me anyway.
You can't stack aid.
Well, I can cast it at a higher level, I mean.
Yes, you can cast it at a higher level, yeah, and that's one of his tips of like, here's how you get the max HP and all this other stuff.
And then, yeah.
So you don't have to use this at all. I just like couldn't go to sleep one night, so I'm like, how would you keep a cleric up? Since I noticed that you have less HP than the other. So
yeah.
Anyways, I got bored and wrote out all these like optimization things like you would find on like Reddit or whatever. So you can use this whenever or not at all. Totally up to you. I'm just gonna forward it over to you in case.
Thanks for introducing it to me. I was not aware of it.
Anything.
Yeah, thank you.
I was not aware of it either until I was looking at the wiki dot. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, you got access to a new spell on top of whatever else. Anyways, I think you should see it now. I think it's the Becoming's tips for staying alive while being a frontline fighter. So again, you don't have to use any of it, or if you do, whatever. Anyway, So just want to give that as a little bit of flavor that the becoming like was hearing what you were saying in RP and like now he's gonna train you. So in the flavor of him training you, he's gonna like a helmet's gonna like come down over his face like he's freaking like a transformer. Two blades are gonna come out of his forearms, be like, alrighty then, let's go. And then there's just gonna be like a montage of you guys
this part.
training and
Yeah, the blade comes up.
just ding ding ding, just yeah, and just having an awesome time until finally like you get the end of the montage when you like get a nice cut and it was like, alrighty then, looks like I've taught you everything I can.
Why don't you just fight with us? Well, we don't have to drag the RP on. It's fine.
Well, you know, there's just certain ways that we can intervene and ways we can't. It's stupid cosmic shit. And, unfortunately, I cannot do that. But I can pass my power on to you. Have at it.
Thank you for it.
Alrighty. So that's that in the morning. Is there anything else that people want to do before Lopaw and his crew come along?
Cry.
You are expecting him by about midday. So if there's any other preparations to do before Lopaw and his group get here, now would be the time.
Don't suppose there would be time to brew up another batch of moonshine. Actually, through this day, are we trying to...
You could have been working on it some yesterday and today.
Okay, yeah, because that'd be tight to get another batch done.
Okay.
So, like, by the end of today?
Yeah, I think you guys are expected to head out, like, around, nightfall or a bit after nightfall and attack pretty late at night. So you'd
I'd
have
time
some time.
that out. So
Yep.
we said 5 and 5, right?
For what?
For production?
I don't recall. We figured that out almost a year ago. I don't remember.
Was that almost a year ago?
We started in, like, January, so... it's been a
Oh,
while.
God. Okay, we can work
Alright.
this out later.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything before the big guys show up?
Is Kamira staying in bed all day with Luke?
She gets up.
cut to. So are we staying in bed all day or?
No, we should probably get up.
Alrighty then.
Boo! Treat yourself.
I know, right? No, she gets up eventually. Probably like mid-morning.
Can I do anything for you? Need breakfast or something?
No,
Go out
no,
and-
it's fine.
Hunt some rabbit maybe?
No, why don't you just relax a little bit? Everybody's probably gonna just wait today, I suppose.
Alright, that's cool. Because I'm gonna be honest, I've been up all night for like a few nights, and I would love to sleep in.
Go for it. And she'll grab her things so then she doesn't have to disturb him later and get out.
Alrighty.
Miss Kamira, could I talk to you real quick?
Have you been waiting at the door?
No, I've been having coffee at my desk, rewriting all my plans because now it's pouring rain.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Can we go for a walk? I think I might need to calibrate your shield with the rain and all. It might throw off the trajectory and whatnot.
Sounds scientific, and I would not know better. We should do that.
Yes, we should go look at your shield to make sure that's in proper working order.
You gonna tell me what's actually wrong while we do that?
Are we cutting to another location?
Cutting to rain falling down on you guys.
Audra just passes you guys walking back inside with her blade over her shoulder, just...
Audra's just like, I just fought God!
I imagine we don't have umbrellas, but we probably have, like, heavy cloaks at least. Something to kind of...
Yeah.
This isn't how I thought I would ask about this, but I guess it does mask our voices a little bit. The other night, you wanted to give one of the captured people to Lopaw.
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen? Honestly.
Nothing good. Nothing good. I did think, however, that maybe it would take some of the stars out of Audra's eyes every time she looked at him.
Stars because Audra's been knocked unconscious, or stars because Audra is enamored with him?
Not enamored in the love sense, but in the, oh, he's so admirable and fierce and amazing. And part of me really just wanted to show her that he was not worth that she was worth more than that, even. And, well, here we are, anyway. It was a monstrous move, but a one that I was very willing to make.
Funny you mentioned monstrous moves. If I can be honest with you, Lopa scares me. And not in the, like, in chop me to ribbons without even making an effort. I mean, he scares me, and I don't know what he'll do if and when he takes control of Waterwheel.
No, I agree. I have a really bad feeling about it, honestly.
Okay. And Anwar is going to produce one of the daggers of mind poison.
Oh god, he came out here to kill me.
Bad news. We're one down for the battle.
That's a season wrap on Sydney.
Anwar, I have 72 hit points. You better hit me good.
Baby! Max damage! No, I guess I just wanted to know. I feel like of who we travel with, you're the only one who I could possibly trust with this information. But I'm considering all possibilities of what could happen. I'm considering what happens if we lose. I'm considering what happens if we win. And I'm considering what happens if we win, but we still somehow lose. If that makes sense.
It's actually quite refreshing to hear.
So, if it means protecting people, if it means protecting innocent people, I'm willing to do what I have to. So,
Agreed.
I'm not saying actively go for it. But if the opportunity is there, we should be weary of it.
So relieved. God. No, I agree. It's been a fleeting thought, not one I wanted to put too much stock in. But it's been a thought. And if we need to make the move, we'll make the move. I desperately hope that we do not. But what's needs to be done needs to be done. I've done it once and I'll do it again.
You've done it before?
She chose her sister's likeness when we took over that camp. I sent the mercenaries after the one you let go.
Oh. 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 Does that mean the guy you just sent? Did Luke?
No. This one, actually, we left him, he might be rained on, but we left him tied up, and we left him with rations and a means to untie himself. He is alive.
I hope he's.
I know
Kyle's
that.
alive.
Unless
know
a
that
bear
that's-
smelled the rations. Okay.
You know, actually, I need to take a quick walk, and I
And
will be
Ogre
back.
Cold. He's definitely cold.
That was a whole
wait,
day ago. Who knows?
I woke up.
Before you go, let me at least do what I was going to say I was going to do and like calibrate your shield.
Oh, it wasn't like a euphemism or like just a ploy, or you actually have to
Just come
do
here.
something with him?
He's just going to like take the shield and then he's going to charge his like lightning gauntlet and just like ping. And it's going to like there you go. Just had to compensate the extra mass in the air while throwing it. It should be fine now.
Coming after you if I roll a natural 1 right off the gate.
I thought you didn't roll.
And
You didn't roll once. I thought that was a different timeline.
I tried not to.
It's right at the second that you throw it that the rain stops.
Oh shit! And it's like just like dive bombs.
Yep. Alrighty, so that all happened. Anything else before our big old friends show up?
I light the house on fire. I pretend I never existed and I leave.
We all become pirates. We board our ship and start the pirate life, and just leave far, far away from all of these battles and politics. What do you have for us, Richard?
Guys, I have a genie uncle somewhere that wants to give us a wish. Let's go find him.
I just wished for Waterwheel to be ours.
I would like Waterwheel to be ours.
Yeah.
Done.
Done.
All right.
At some
You know what?
point,
That's actually a good wish. That one's
I'll
on
give
you.
it to you
Get
for
that one
free.
for free.
at some point, Ronkin's gonna like come into the house. I assume after everybody's kind of back in and taking shelter and stuff. It's not just the house too. There's also a couple like workstations now. So there's a number of areas where there's cover from the rain. But eventually, Ronkin's gonna like step through the door and be like, guys, we've got company.
It's not Jonas, is it?
Slow walk, music playing.
Yep.
Do we hear them coming first?
Yeah, once you kind of know to look for it, you kind of look out, and at first you just hear nothing but rain, but then you start hearing a little bit of like boom, 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 coming through, and then eventually kind of like pushing through the trees and all the twigs and leaves and stuff, coming out of the forest through the rain. You see Lopaw coming out with roughly around 25-ish big hulking orcs, all coming on through, and it's just kind of looking up, looking around. Lopaw's just gonna start pointing towards places, basically saying, "Make yourself at home." And some of these orcs are gonna start kind of filing into various places where there's kind of dry area, and Ronkin's just gonna be like, I guess I'll hold the door open for them. And the house is gonna get crowded mighty quick as they start kind of like pulling up inside and then just kind of like sitting down and like kind of crossed arm over their knees and stuff, just like kind of laying down. What do y'all do as like the house and the other kind of workshop areas start just kind of getting crowded in with orcs?
I will brew more close approximation of coffee.
I imagine that inside the house there's an area that's like Anwar's workstation with like lots of blueprints and plans, things like that. And then as the orcs come in, they drop their like muddy axes and hammers.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, wait, don't, those are experiment. No, please, just.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of them will definitely come over and like see that you've got coffee, and just kind of lean in and start to take it. Or do you like lend a hand, or are you just like, hey?
I will. As do they reach to grab a cup?
No, grabs to reach the pitcher from you.
I will kind of drop a hand over like on their wrist gently and say, I'll let you know when it's done, friend.
That was the last Hunter ever saw of that hand.
Just put it down. Since you have indicated that you will serve them eventually, and that you're holding it off only because it's not ready yet, like, that's acceptable. And they go and sit down. And so yeah, they're starting to pile in. There's definitely others that are kind of out that can't fit in the house. The house is fucking packed. There's like barely room to kind of squeeze through if you want to walk by somewhere. As a bunch of them begin to just kind of sit down, start to like dry themselves off. Mamushka is kind of nudged into the corner now, and like not really on the couch anymore. He's like,
Dear.
he's kind of taken aback by all these orcs coming and not sure what to make of it all. And at some point, it's just like, all right, there's a whole bunch of them in your house, and Lopaw's gonna like come marching on through, just because kind of like he's king of everything. And then he's gonna find that broken ass couch and just kind of like step over some people, and then just all right. And they're just gonna
Start to pull out the dagger.
they're just gonna like start to take a breather, like, oh, and it smells so fucking bad. So fucking bad. It is a whole bunch of people that have bathed in nothing but rain. And it's just like smells like wet dog all over the place. It's just like, ugh.
Once again, how does the dog react?
The dog is done. The dog has like ran over, scratching at the door, trying to get inside, into the room, and eventually Luke's gonna let him in and stuff. There's even like a couple have had to like make their way into kind of like the hallway area to make some space. I mean, the kitchen is packed, like everywhere is pretty much packed, and some of them are just starting to take a squat and begin to wring some stuff out and things like that, just kind of shake some things off.
Audra will find wherever Lopaw is in the pack and just approach him with another one of the like Spartan handshakes.
He's gonna look over and he's like, oh hey, like he doesn't remember you.
And she's standing there like,
yep, he's just gonna put his arms over this thing and relax a bit.
If the party is around, they will see Audra actually looking very rejected by that. Just like,
Hey, Audra, get me a hand real fast.
Sure. What do you need?
You have to like squirm your way over to get to Hunter.
Hunter will hand Audra. He's gonna play house kind of house person for the minute. Hand Audra a tray of like tea of the closest approximation to coffee, and hand it to Audra and say, pass this around. I'm gonna get the fellas outside. And
sure. And she'll just extend it into the crowd and just say the same. Pass this around.
And he'll throw a pinch of like cinnamon, like spices into the fireplace to like get this like small burst of flame, but then the aromatics to kind of mask
cancel out the
wet dog.
Yeah.
And then as he goes outside with all the like cold big boys, he'll pass around the coffee, and then like over where the his moonshine had been cooking, now that that's all finished and processed and we'll tabulate later, he kind of like twists his hand and little sparks fly from his hand, and the where that fire was, a bonfire kind of raises and crackles, and he passes around the beverages and says, get yourselves warm there.
Some of them are just gonna take that coffee and chug it too fast for a hot drink. And they're just gonna take it.
Okay, let's go fight now.
The people inside smelling the tea are like, ugh, fucking get that out of here.
Oh, it's still the closest approximation to coffee, to whatever it is.
Yeah, there's like, eventually Lopaw's just gonna yell out, tsunami! And
yeah,
Trax is like morphed into like a squirrel to like make enough room to like start hopping around. Sorsha is like kind of peering out from one of the rooms, like, is there something I can help you with? And Ronkin too is like held the door open, is still very much like up at the door, like, yeah, is there something that we can do for you? Food, ale, mushrooms if you got them. In that order.
No mushrooms.
And
No
Lucan's like,
mushrooms.
Fresh out of mushrooms.
Food.
Sorry
ale.
about that.
Yep. Yeah, you got it, boss. And one of the people's going to pull out a drum and just kind of start steadily going like boom, 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 as people just kind of start to lull themselves into a piece of relaxation. What are the rest of y'all doing?
Nervously peeing.
Really, I'm very much going to gesture for Sorsha to stay the fuck out of the main room. Like, away from them. Just...
She's just gonna, like, shut the door back.
Yes. That is it. That's the primary. I don't even want to be here. Take me in there with you, but here we are.
Anwar's going to be over at his station, and he holds up a piece of paper that says airship, but all of it's like completely ruined. He's like, "Oh, I was just
I almost
there.
had it.
I was there, just that close." And he starts rolling up his designs and kind of putting them in the corner, just like I was just there.
You keep on cleaning up this place, and it just keeps on getting trashed.
Getting to think it wasn't meant to be.
That's home ownership for you, huh?
Yeah, oh my god. That's too true.
I guess Hunter's gonna I guess pull out some food that he'd hopefully assumed we would need for this occasion. I don't know if we had assumed for this scale, but just start warming stuff.
Okay. Alrighty, so doing that. Yeah, it's just gonna lead to some awkwardness for a while. Eventually, they're going to lead. Eventually, Lopa will finally, kind of like after all of the food and ale and stuff has been going on for a little bit, he's gonna finally say, "So, do you have a plan to pitch?"
He doesn't know the plan at this point.
He's got a plan for him, but he's like, "All right, what's your team doing?"
All right. So, Mr. Lopa, the plan, as it were, is you have your forces on the other side of the river.
Yep,
They'll
they have
be-
their orders. Yep.
They'll be, for lack of a better term, the distraction.
Yep.
You and your fine, gentle orc here will take a boat.
You
that
have a ship for us, right?
We procured you a ship.
Good.
You can
Good,
take
good
that
work.
right over.
Mhm.
You will be entering the port, where once you land, you will make your way to the top, called Jester's Pride. That is where the governor.
Don't call it that.
Hunter's going to step forward and kind of rest a hand on Anwar's shoulder as he stares at our guest here and say, "Now, friend, this is Anwar. This is our chief strategist. He's a brilliant man. I would appreciate if you would respect him and his words. Just
Do you
drink
know
it
what
in."
he just called the place where my father died?
I do.
We don't have to call it
would-
that. We can call it.
They
the
call it the
different-
Fool's Last Stand, is what they call it.
Now,
I think that
friend,
might be
we are on the same
something-
team.
I think that might be something lost in translations. I apologize. We can just call it
We just call it the Lord's Manor. How about that? Or the Chief's Manor.
perfect. Perfect.
Now, I do think you need to respect our chief strategist here, as the brilliant mind
Everybody's
he
gonna
is.
start looking over like, what the fuck is it? Who the fuck is this who's like telling him who to respect? And, you're definitely gonna get some orcs that like just start stand up next to you like, excuse me, you're saying who the chief should respect?
We recognize your ferocity and your skill and your tenacity. But if you could listen to the plan before making any other comments, we would appreciate it. Because we're on the same team here. And we want to win, we want to see blood, and we want to see them motherfuckers pay. Same page. Same
Go
team.
ahead, roll persuasion.
Persuasion. There we are.
They're gonna look towards the chief, and Lopez just kind of wave them.
And I'll
All right, listen. We all might be equal in the eyes of the gods, but we're not equal in battle. I mean, what have you done? What battles have you won? And what battles have you lost? For it's in failure that we truly learn the most.
We beat a tree.
Oh, you beat a tree. Good
now,
job.
now that was a joke.
I
All right.
wasn't saying that. That wasn't Audra's voice.
Okay.
Me, it's Audra.
Well,
Well, this ain't battle. This is
in
the
any
plan.
case, I will decide on the plans. You are pitching. And I will make the plans, and I will make the calls, and you will obey me. And if you do, revenge will be ours. I promise you that.
And
So
it
yes,
all-
I will hear the plan. And if it's a good plan, then I will choose it. If it is a bad plan, then we'll go another way. So go, Mr. Strategist. Let's hear the rest of your pitch.
or we are in planning.
Thanks, Hunter. I got it from here.
Yeah, I'll go fuck off for a minute.
All right, I'll join you in a bit. Yeah, where you take the ship, which we got for you, across
Good
the
job.
river.
Mm-hmm.
You will enter the port, where you will enter the captain's what do we say? The command post.
The Chief's manor.
Chief's Manor, right. So you guys will head that direction. And it's going to scare them all so much because, I mean, I'm scared half to death right now. So I can only imagine how they feel with you guys running in the back door. When that happens, they will send guards from the front gates in the wall to try and attack you. In which case, we will emerge from underground, the sewers. We will open up the gate and let your other forces inside the city. They'll be so completely taken aback and in disarray. We'll have let the main forces in. You guys will already have a good beat all the way to the chief's manor. And we will join you and take back the city of Waterwheel.
Some of them are gonna kind of look over to be like, I don't know, Chief. Like, guy here's talking about being scared he's gonna shit himself. Like, what the fuck are they? Are we gonna listen to this guy? And like, so there's definitely some murmur going around, and he's just gonna finally wave people down.
So you're gonna be in the sewers. What's your signal to come out of the sewers?
Well, we'll, I guess it would behoove us if you were to signal us once we should start heading in that direction. Once your ship has made it to port, I imagine you guys can make a lot of ruckus and can make yourself well known. We'll head the opposite direction towards the gate. We'll find a spot we can pop up. Believe it or not, speaking of battles won and lost, through the the sewers is how we escaped the first time out of Stem Garden. So we have a little experience in that arena.
What my friend is trying to say is that we are prepared to open the doors so your mighty forces can create the jaws of doom that will crush our enemies in its mighty maw. Now you will be that mighty maw. We will simply be the key that opens up that delicious treat you're trying to chomp on. What do you think?
I think the Devil Man's got a funny way of talking, is what I think.
Yeah.
I think he's right. I think I like what he's saying. So yeah.
I often say the same thing about Hunter, so we're in agreement there.
I'll take it.
And your raven friend was talking about some kind of people on the inside already.
Yes. We let them know that we'll be coming, and they should have their ear to the ground.
More or less your plan sounds similar to my plan. All right. Sounds good.
I'd like to insight that.
Insight.
Go ahead.
Glad Anwar was on. Oh, yeah, glad Anwar was on it.
Yep. Kamira's typing something. Not sure if that's a roll or if that's a. Okay, there we go. Inciting that, you get the sense that everything you said, your part, at the very least, does not intrude on anything they were already planning. And like already there was the bit about like the ship and other stuff that like they kind of got that part of it and everything. You get the sense with a 22, you get the sense that he's being a little cryptic, that is like, all right, well, like some of it he didn't mention, but nothing he said goes against it, so all right. All right, you'll come up from the sewers.
Oh. Do we
You're
have an
muted.
accord?
You know,
He
you
knows
know.
that she's muted. She's purposefully. She's good with the art of the mute.
Yeah.
Can I ask, when you do take back Waterwheel, what is your plan?
No, it's just one stop of many, but it's my stop. I suppose I'll put somebody in charge while I'm out finishing what I started. I do look forward to the day when I can call the Chief's Manor my home again. I was but 3 years old when I had to leave. I still remember a little bit of it, and I have dreamt of it nearly every night since. On a good dream, it's as if I'm back home and I'm with my parents and everything is good. And then there are the nightmares, when I feel my home being torn inside out and remodeled by impotent dwarves. So, I am looking forward to reclaiming my home, as are many here, right? It's like, ah-woo, ah-woo! Many people here came from this village. We'll make ourselves at home and take back what's rightfully ours. What's that?
Well, I hope we can make that happen.
Listen to
I
everything
also-
I say. Follow the plan that we just agreed on. We'll make it work.
Anwar's not going to hold his hand out. I don't trust him to not crush his hand in a shake. Is Lopa a handshaker, or is he like a embracer?
What's that moment when like Hulk and Thor finally beat somebody in one of the Avengers movies, and Thor's like,
punches him
yeah, and
off
Hulk's
screen.
like, boom.
Yeah, I think if Thor knows that, he's just going to keep his distance.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Then we should rest up and begin the rituals. For tonight, we fight.
And so just kind of throughout this evening while they kind of rest up before they're going to go out. A number of them are going to do various rituals. There's going to be songs, there's going to be chants, there's going to be prayers to various gods, which are very similar. These orc gods are not like the Grumsh One Eye and things that you guys have read about in other D&D lore. It's much more similar to like Odin and other like Norse gods, where it's like, oh yeah, they dream of like if they die, then they just go up to orc heaven where they can just fight each other again in the halls of the gods, and like that's awesome for them. Like so they keep on chanting up about how they don't fear death and other stuff like that. Eventually, Luke is going to come out and like get close to Chimera and just kind of be like, I've been, raised by orcs. I've been around orcs a lot in my life. These guys are fucking nuts.
They're fucking insane, and I want them out of my house desperately.
Oh, tonight they will be.
Yes, they will.
How are you doing?
I'm furious. Because I think I know exactly how this is going to go.
Well, keep yourself safe. That's what you said, right?
I will.
Okay. I'm gonna do my best to keep myself in a place where you don't need to worry about me.
Thank you.
You just focus on yourself.
During something.
Okay.
Fuck.
Kind of during this time over a while, things start to kind of like get more friendly as there's various rituals and songs and other stuff going on. There's a bit more mead and an ale kind of being passed around. Some people brought ladders, some people brought rope, some people brought kegs.
As one does.
As one does, yeah,
Is that
generally
also their weapon? Just bash people like Donkey Kong?
Yeah. So while that is going, it's getting like nice and loud and rowdy and stuff like that. Is anybody else going to share any rituals or anything else with the group, or does anybody go off and do anything privately for anything before? Like, because you're getting the weight now. Like, it is happening. The hours are dwindling. Like, it is almost go time. Like, this is about to be fucking real.
Audra will say something just briefly while everyone's together, while the party's together. Just like, I want you all to know, and she'll like pull out the diamond. With this, if one of you is lost, I will bring you back. You won't be gone.
Sorry, she's saying that to all the 25.
No, just to the party.
Okay, I was about to say, oh wow.
No.
Sorry, my phone rang and I got.
No, it's all good. Saying this to the people in this Discord call.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, she's like, listen, if you go down and we lose you, you will be found again.
That's kind.
Thank you, Audra.
Yeah. Here's hoping it's not me that goes down.
No, I'll do what I can to make sure that doesn't happen.
Thanks.
Come to terms with it.
We'll have potions. We'll be okay.
Do we need to go over a strategy at all?
Don't die. That's my strategy.
That's baseline, but I agree.
I'm pretty sure I know how I can get us into the city. If not, we'll have to figure something out. But my thought is, once we're inside, we should try and lay low until we can get to the gates. Let them in. Conserve our strength.
Right.
Yeah. Is it still pouring outside?
It's definitely not thundering anymore, but it's still the rain is maybe like 75% what it was, but it's noticeably less oppressive as it pours down on you.
I thought you said it stopped with the shield thing earlier, or was that just a joke?
Oh, that was a joke. That
Okay.
was just...
One bummer about building pyres, Suha, is hard to do that when it's raining. Oh, she'll just have to hear my prayers without a typical offering.
I mean, I can
I mean,
make
you
a
could set up
fire.
a little canopy thing. There's ways to do it.
I'll make a fire if you need one.
I'll instead use the diamond to cast Produce Flame.
Where do you want it? There? No, I'll point at the ground, and like over the course of like a second, the ground will like bubble and crack, and then like fire will like create this bonfire. in
Oh,
this
you really like
5-foot
using those new powers from your devil friend, don't you?
Is it waterproof?
I'm sorry, you don't necessarily know that.
That's true. Well, okay, but if you're just gonna be spawning bonfires, we're gonna have questions since you weren't doing that before.
I think if the magic continually makes the flame go, then I guess it would be able to kind of counteract with the rain, and it's probably not as nearly impressive of a fire, but it's still going.
I'm sorry, Hunter, could you do that before? What just happened?
Well, I can make kind of like a bonfire, and that if we throw some wood on it in time, we can sustain it. But it's you know, like you know how before when somebody's hit me or shot me, I've like set them on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of expanded on that.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, you do your thing, Anwar. I'll do mine. Kamira, do you feel ready? As ready as you can?
I have a couple prayers to say.
Sounds like we all need to go our separate ways for a moment before this battle begins.
If I can set up a canopy to protect the fire, I will.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say you can go ahead and do that.
I'm ready to like take 5 and jump to when we're on the deck of the boat whenever people are ready to.
Yeah, I just want to give anybody a chance if anybody else has anything, then...
Did we send our Quickling friend out yet?
Mm-hmm. We sent him last night
Yeah,
to scout.
he's
No,
scouted
no,
the
I
night
mean like
before.
away. Is he like?
No, he's still around. He's like, hey, what's up?
I just need you to send a letter to Paul,
Oh, yeah, sure.
and
That's a whole lot better than going off into battle, because, I don't really do battle. I just kind of push people and move out of the way.
hey, shut the fuck up. It's all good, bud. Dearest Paul.
All right, sounds good. But at some point, you gotta answer this. What is brunch? Anyway, I'm out.
Haven't given you the letter yet, dick nuts.
Oh!
No, Dick
Comes
Nuts is
out.
my cousin. I'm Twig.
Oh, sorry,
Dick
Twig.
Nuts died in the great civil war that we had a little while back.
Oh God. That's
Dude, let's make a monument
dark.
at Cammy
It's very fair
House
loss.
that just says, "Here lies Dick Nuts."
I'm pretty sure Dick Nuts was actually one of the guys that you guys killed when they tried to kill you.
And I'll do it again.
Give me the letter!
Yes, sir. And I'll scribble out a quick letter, dearest Paul. Thinking of you. Hope you're safe. If I don't send another message in a week's time, the worst has happened. I don't. If you can recover my shit, give it to anyone who can use it. But best of wishes. Love you, Paul. Stay strong. We can get through this bullshit. Fuck squids. Love, Hunter.
Takes the letter, gets on out of there.
Oh man, I wish I had more time for that. Here we go. And Hunter's going to like gently start layering in his arrows and like armoring himself and getting geared up.
All right.
Did your dance just change?
Yeah, I was gonna say your like square suddenly just changed.
It's like in the movie when like the attitude changes and we
Mhm.
shift into a different format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan, I think you had something you were doing.
Yeah, I would say once Anwar's got some privacy and he starts the kind of similar to when after the one base they fought, Anwar built pyres for the men that he slew, slayed. He
Yeah.
is is kind of building a general pyre for going into battle. Suha is not really a goddess of war, more like life and death and rebirth and kind of like reincarnation. But as he's finishing his preparation, he'll kind of look around to see if anyone's nearby, and he'll pull out the dagger of mind poison, and which he will use it to prick the tip of his finger and kind of just drop a few droplets of blood into the fire. And he'll say, I don't know if you can hear me, but you seem to have a knack to contact me whenever there's fire and blood. So I figure, what's the harm in trying to contact you before this happens? I haven't forgotten our deal. When I can make sure my parents are safe, my family is safe, and we can finally make some headway here, I want to find you. And but if you've got any advice, if you have any idea what's going on, I could really use your help. Aganazar.
As you look into the fire, it's kind of like the in Game of Thrones when they like look into the fire, then they see something that kind of takes hold. Like no one else would be seeing this, but you just like suddenly are getting this vision of this genie kind of wrapping around you, coming out of the flames and wrapping around you and looking down, and he's just gonna kind of grab you at your shoulders and like look down at you and just be like, listen, the only thing I can tell you is that when you're through with all of them, make sure that no one forgets the name Aganazar. And he's gonna just kind of whoosh into various like flames and smoke as it swirls all around you until it's nothing but darkness, and then just kind of washed away by the rain.
Okay.
Wow, that probably wasn't that helpful at all, but you know.
Good to know. Good to know you heard me. All right. I'm going to get some rest. And Anwar's going to take down the canopy and let the fire die out.
So, is that everything everybody's got before we jump in? I think we got at least enough time to get chapter 1 of our things started and get some momentum going into the following week.
Did you have anything pre-battle, Sid?
Just praying
All right.
Praying
to
to
my wolf god.
I was gonna say to the great wolf.
Yep.
You'll feel a bit of a warming from your wolf brooch.
Right.
Brooch or brooch, I can't remember.
It's a nice little pin that I have on my cloak.
Yep. Alrighty then. So, Yeah, I'd say let's give a 5-minute break, and then we will jump into when you guys are ready. I take it you guys will direct them how to get to the ship. They will get the ship, and you guys are going to head down to across to Waterwheel, and we will get this thing going.
All right. I'll take us over to the break screen.
I feel like a ding dong for
BRB.
running to pee.
Alrighty, back in. Richard, we're ready to try all these new whatevers you got going on.
Cutting to after you've marched through the forest on your own, you've split up from Lopa and his elites. You have taken Ronkin with you. As an arcane trickster, he fits in well with your more stealthy approach. You make your way over to not Stem Garden, but Water Wheel. It's still raining enough that the rain clangs on armor, although it's let up a bit. But still, you just hear just kind of like clink, 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 kind of clanging off of metal a bit as you get closer. There is this Bailey or whatever it is on the other side that you may need to get around. I imagine there's kind of like a hill that kind of gives you a nice view beforehand. What is the signal that you are waiting for to cross the river? Are you waiting for guards to show up on the other side? Are you waiting for the ship to be able to see the ship coming in? What's your go move?
I was thinking that we would go probably after the ship, but maybe we need to be there sooner. Yeah.
If your plan was to be underneath when you start to hear them trampling up above you, then yeah, you'd need to be there a fair amount sooner if you're trying to navigate the sewers and stuff.
Then yeah, I would say let's go before them then.
All right. Are we water walking again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Water walking, looking for a spot where there's like an opening where you can potentially get into the sewer.
Okay.
I'll also throw up the gift of Verantis, pass without trace.
Right.
I am also going to use a level 2 aid, level 3 aid. Chimera, you already have a lot of HP, so myself, Anwar, and Hunter are all going to get plus 10.
Nice.
That's temp,
10 HP?
and that's a 10 HP increase for the next 8 hours. So it's not just temp, that is your new max for 8 hours.
Yep.
Sorry, Sid, you're taken care of. I can only cast it on 3 people.
Give me more.
If you cast that as a level 9 spell, it is I think 40 HP
Goddamn.
total.
Jeez.
Yeah. 40 HP.
Alrighty then.
10. Obviously, at this point, I have recovered my Phantom Black cloak from the pupper.
From
Yeah.
Wolf.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure that was out there.
Smells like wolf, and it has a little bit of hair on it, but yeah, you have it.
I'm cool with that. It works.
So you do all of that. Do you want to go in before anybody's there, or are you waiting for like troops to be marching in from the other side when you start hearing like the boom, 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 boom?
I feel like we should go in
Probably
first. Get into
Best to be
Yeah.
there beforehand.
Alrighty.
Plus,
So-
who knows if this shit's open still.
So I need all of you to make stealth checks then. This is our first skill challenge. I need stealth checks from everybody.
So I will be rolling at advantage.
I will be rolling at disadvantage. And we have pass without trace going, you said?
So plus 10, yep.
All right.
So that's a 27 from Hunter.
Yeah.
16 for me.
21.
16. I'm at a disadvantage.
16, okay. It's 31 from Chimera.
You're also disadvantaged, right, Sid?
Oh, right.
Yep.
So 21, okay. Well, everybody got, except for Audra, got above a 20. And some people into the 30s, I think. So overall, it's all good. You guys kind of, it's very dark. It's raining. There's definitely some people out stand and watch near this kind of Bailey on the other side. And then as you kind of go across, do you guys kind of like go right near the chain, or do you guys like kind of go way far off and then kind of work your way inward?
I would say way far off, and then
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, water walk lasts so long, we can be safe.
Yeah. Alrighty, so you do that. Yeah, you kind of start farther off near Mr. Krabs or wherever, and then you start to work your way in, and yeah, especially in the dark of night and everything else, and all the rain, you just kind of blend in with the rain, and so like no one really sees anything. You just kind of go on in. If anybody would like to make an investigation check, now is the time. That's your next hurdle to see if you can find a spot where the sewers open up.
Is this a group check or a select?
This would be one person does this on behalf of the group.
Sounds like a Ryan move.
Yeah.
Wish me luck. I'll use guidance.
All the luck.
Luck wish.
All the luck.
Too much luck.
Ooh, is there anything I could grant him advantage with?
I can't even fix
got-
that.
Oh God.
You can't
That's
pity an ability
insight.
check?
First off, that's an insight. So
That's a
Oh,
failure.
true. That's an insight, not an investigation.
I feel like I've got some sort of tool that would help him with the investigation.
Well, yeah.
Is your
Ryan, you want to
investigation
re-roll that?
any
'Cause
better
it
than
will be a
+5?
different mod. wouldn't
No,
it?
it's a +4 for investigation.
Ah.
Oh, so it's even less.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got an 8. Ooh, okay.
Yes, we lose, guys. Game over.
Yeah, you just turn back and go home.
Let them deal with it. I'm not mad about it.
You are looking around, and what you notice is that the tide is higher than you were last expecting. And so you have an idea where an opening might be, but it's underneath the water, and right now you are on something that keeps you above the water.
Is there any way I could use my sentinel eyes to look for something? Because I do have.
Yeah, I would allow that. Yeah, if you want to do a,
Maybe that's still bad. Wow.
Wow.
Buddy, refresh.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so that is multiple failures of
I have-
Anwar. Does somebody else have something that could maybe find?
My background, I have a proficiency in remembering like maps and
Uh-huh.
geographies. Is there any way I could like recall maybe taking a gander at a map and seeing where certain entry points were, or even from our time there?
From your
And-
time there. You have been underwater before while going over to the spot. The thing is, you could definitely recall where that was, but go ahead and roll a history to see if you remember.
I have a very silly idea if Sid's
and I
doesn't
guess-
work.
And I guess you can do that with advantage because of your feature.
I've got light armor, so I could swim down and.
Hey!
Hey!
Never mind.
So you're looking for a while. The tide has kind of affected things a bit. You're like, I swear to God, it was around here somewhere. You're looking around. Suddenly something clicks. It's like an image, a memory, something. It's that wolf instinct that lives inside you, Chimera, where suddenly it's like, wait a minute, I know where that is, and you just instinctually know where to look. And you go over and you find, like, barely, you can kind of, like, scrape some of the, like, waves of the water on the top to be like, all right, there it is. Like, it is covered in bars, so you'd have to do something to get in, and you'd have to, like, duck under the water and not be walking on it, but you can find a way to get in that is, that's, like, wedged, I guess, like, maybe right over here, something like that.
Are you clicking on something?
I was trying to. Do you see it or no? Oh, I'm on the GM layer. Around here.
Oh, now I see it.
My very silly idea was going to be everybody grab onto Big Audra and she climbs over the wall.
Well, that's one idea.
Yeah.
Not a stealth option.
Nope. And by the way, Andrew, with Water Walk, you can't swim. If you try to go under, you come right back up. That was the
Could I use
issue
Tinker
there.
Tools to try and cut through the bars like a plasma torch or something with his fire and lightning?
Shoot it.
Yep, you can totally do that. I will say though that there are since you guys are going before there's any kind of distraction anywhere else, there are some guards that are up like around the water wheel area, and where it says 6B, all of the 6s are like tower areas. So definitely, like, if you're trying to act like, imagine that there's just a watchtower like right above you guys, and you guys have to be stealthy as fuck while you're trying to do this. The pass without a trace helps for certain, but if you're gonna start like doing some Tinker's Tool stuff, definitely you gotta hope you roll well.
I would like to assist by, kind of trying to drape and cover from above.
Okay.
To reduce any like motion and flashes and all that.
All right, you may do so with advantage with that assistance.
And also by granting thieves' tools. Maybe.
Well, he's got that expertise in tools now, so let's see.
Yeah. That's barely better. That's still 24.
Yep, that's good. Yeah. With your Tinker's Tools, you're able to get some of the bars kind of like unhooked, and you can take them out. At this point, even with water walk, I think the way that they phrase it is like once you go under, you just pushed right back up.
Yeah.
So I imagine, you know how sometimes like you try to push something that floats down, like let's say a ball at a pool, you push it down and then it pops right back up. You can kind of like push yourself down and under, but then you're just gonna pop right back up on the other side.
I think that's I would buy that. Yeah. Because in my brain, it's kind of like just displacing the liquid under you. You know what I mean? So if you can kind of push it out of the way.
You really have to try for it to push yourself under for a second, and you're gonna pop right back up. But you technically can do it. You could also just like let go of the spell if you wanted to do that too. All right. Well, in any case, you are able to get into the sewer that way.
I don't know that I can do that.
Well, in any case,
just let it
from
go.
from the other side, once you kind of get under that grate thing and you kind of pop back up on the other side, you're in what seems kind of like familiar territory. You've been in sewers before where like there's that water, but then you can kind of like climb up to get on top of kind of a walkway area. The water is kind of gross, but you're at least like on the inside, so that's good news.
All right.
We did it.
Woo!
Well, that's step one.
Yep. So you guys go walking along for a bit, and as you guys may have expected, there is one of those like 3 tentacled poop eating monsters.
Oh, those
like,
things again.
Given that you guys naturally have some boosts for initiative and things like that, I'm going to say you guys go first. Each of you gets an opportunity to do something to this guy.
Well, we would have expected this going in, and knowing it's a poop-eating monster, I would have eaten a beef burrito beforehand. I will cross along, drop trow, and drop a deuce. And while the creature lurches forward to eat the poop, I will let my compatriots run through.
Hold on. Andrew, hold on.
Yes, sir?
We all talked about this. We all ate beef burritos beforehand.
Oh, no!
We all are facing around.
This conversation with the Metal Gear stealth music right now is so funny.
This
Wait,
is
we
where
got
the
Metal Gear
battle
music?
has gone.
Snake, use your bean burrito now.
Is this the fractured butthole? Like,
It might be.
Otacon,
We made it.
I've got some stomach trouble.
if you guys want to go that route, I'm not saying no. It's a little odd because no one ever said anything about a burrito earlier. So it seems like a little bit of
That I'm gonna say that is not within Audra's character to do.
No, I'm joking.
So each of you has an opportunity.
Unless-
You can either just like roll an attack to like go up there and attack. You can roll whether it's a spell save or not. Any spell you want to do that's like offensive, you can just roll with a spell modifier for your spell check.
I'll put a bonfire on it.
Or if you want to do some kind of ability to like get around it or whatever, you could like do acrobatics or something. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll raise a bonfire on it.
All right, so roll a spell check for that.
I mean,
Gonna
I'm
be in
not
a
sure
suit.
what.
Oh no, no,
It's
a
a,
cantrip.
it's a dex save on that thing's part, isn't it?
It's gonna be a shitter's
Yeah, but we're not
scenario.
doing
It's gonna
that.
be fire
So we're
everywhere.
doing different rules now. You just if you
Okay.
want to do a spell ability, you just roll a spell check.
Okay.
Spell check, which is my charisma.
What is it that's flammable? Is it methane that's gonna be in here?
It's
It
it's
is methane.
it's proficiency plus charisma, Andrew.
Okay. So d20 plus 6. Right? Yes. Okay.
17. I would call that a success. What's everybody else doing when they encounter this thing?
I'll drop a flame of my own on it.
Sacred Flame.
Yeah, sacred flame.
All right, go ahead and roll a spell check on that.
19.
Very good. All right, let's see what Anwar and Kamira are up to with this 3 tentacled thing
fire.
going on.
I'll fire off 2 lightning launcher blasts at him.
Okay, go ahead and since you have 2 of those, just roll with advantage on your attack modifier.
You saw that it was on the 1, right?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
All right, 20. All right, that's another success. Kamira, what are you doing?
Echo out and she's gonna attack.
All right.
13.
Same thing for you because you're attacking twice. You can roll with advantage for your.
Yay! One.
Okay. That's a 13. Not quite, but still. Your echo goes in there, but there were already like 3 successes by the time you got in. Like it's just up in flames and getting electrocuted and everything. And by the time that your echo goes in there, it's like, aha, I'm gonna get it, and it's already dead. Stab.
Sight.
You helped.
Nice. I did it.
All right, you
did
guys
it.
took quick care of that. Going and moving on further. Eventually, kind of getting in a bit. You're not hearing anything up above at this point. But just kind of waiting through. You feel like you're getting closer to kind of the center of town area. But then you hear a familiar kind of slithering around. Just kind of like it's pushing up against the walls a bit. And you notice that there are gelatinous cubes coming from like 3 different directions as like you're right in the center of a triangle area. What do y'all do with this?
I hate to be a one-note guy, but I think raise bonfire.
Yeah, like last time we did this, we just blew through one and kept moving, right? That was the move.
Yeah.
That was the move.
All right. Repeat.
Probably gonna just echo past it.
I just Control D and duplicate my last move.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll bonfire the one we're targeting.
Okay.
There's a sacred flame. Ugh, 9's not good.
Ugh, nope, that one's.
This
The
is...
flame just gets absorbed into the gelatinous cube as it's going inward towards you.
Oh,
Oh man, you're just like firing away at this stuff, and there is something in the mixture of this cube that is just going. Your attacks are like doing nothing right now. Same with Hunter. Yeah. The 13 is not gonna cut it for this one.
Can Ron
fire
throw a spell
be,
into the
like-
mix there?
Kamira, what was your move? You were echoing past it.
I would like to echo past it, but if I have the option to attack, yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to say you just do both of those things, you can do that. You just be like, zoom, let's like pass through on the other side and then just like chop, or what do you want to do? Or do you want to like chop from
Yeah.
both sides?
No, like I'm trying to save those abilities going into
Okay.
this.
Okay.
But yeah, echo to the other side and chop.
All right, you echo to the other side and chop, and that is a bit, but that is not enough successes. That's more failures than successes. So you like chop through, but a lot of this magic stuff is like getting in there. The cubes are going to start closing in on you guys. It's gonna have like little pseudopods start to shoot out at you, just like little bits of the stuff trying to get on you. I'm gonna need each of you to make some kind of defensive check. That can either be a like dexterity saving throw, or it could be like acrobatics, or it could be you can also use your AC, which like, an AC check is just your modifier is just your AC minus 10. So if you have a 20, it's a plus 10, and so on. Oh, that's not good.
No.
As you're
That's
starting to
supposed
get
to be good
closed
at
in,
that.
you're starting to back up. The gelatinous cube is getting. So guys, this is all gonna end with gelatinous cubes.
I'm sorry. I would like to say that being fire, it should be advantage on these motherfuckers.
Quit asking for advantage on random bullshit.
Boy.
Wow. Okay. Well, just the rolls are going this way.
Oh.
So in this cinematic, the gelatinous cubes have started to move in, and these are like. It looks like these are more heavy-duty gelatinous cubes than the last one. Kamira, you have like bursted through to the other side thanks to your echo power. But for the other three, the gelatinous cubes have started to close in on them and have started to like eat away at them a bit. Each of you are going to take.
Does Ronkin have anything in his back pocket for this?
Each of you are going to take 8 acid damage as you're starting to like get hit and dissolved by a little bit of this gelatinous cube stuff.
Don't forget, y'all, you have your 10 temp HP.
I do.
Yep, that's true.
Grant a maneuvering attack to somebody?
I'm going to.
Is it just the echo that's on the other side of it, or did you like teleport yourself on the other side?
Yeah, I wanted to go over there.
Okay, so you are on the other side. You look back and you're like, "Oh shit! Everybody's getting closed in on," and really not fucking looking good. Ronkin's gonna try something, I guess.
Reaction?
You can do a reaction. Yeah.
I hope I don't regret this. I'm gonna use my hellish rebuke
There you go.
reaction. To just fucking incinerate this thing. And I know I only get it once a day, but like.
This seems like a good use.
Yeah, I'm stuck in we're stuck in a cube of jelly.
You've got like 3 cubes that are closing in on all you guys.
I mean, if it's close enough to fucking, if I'm in it, I will.
You're not in it yet, but you definitely had like some pseudopods shooting out at you and like glabbing onto you and stuff, and definitely doing a little bit of damage. So 14.
That's 14
all right,
fire
you
damage.
shoot out. It seems like the fire is just not really cutting it. So far, none of it has worked on this thing. But Ronkin is going to use an ice knife to see if he can freeze it, and he's gonna throw it in. God, okay, like this. So your magic doesn't seem to be working on this thing. Kamira's passed through it.
Oh, God.
I would say everybody in the center of these 3, make me a perception check. If you have any bonuses, you can do that.
23.
17, 23 is all pretty good. You notice that, like, right up above, unfortunately, it's like right above this kind of pool of this yucky grossness, but right up above, you see a manhole as these things are closing in. And that might be your best bet to get out of this, because these gelatinous cubes, there is something in the chemistry of them that, like, your magical attacks are just not working on them.
I holler, y'all grab on! And I pull the grapple tube out. And once everyone has, like, grabbed onto me, I'll zoom, probably both hands at that point.
Alrighty, yeah, I'll give that to you. Yep, you do that. You go up, holding on tightly as the cubes are starting to go in. Do you try to just hang on, or are you trying to open the thing and go out? It's definitely earlier than you were wanting to go out right now. So
at the moment, we're all just like hanging on to this thing with him dangling above.
I don't think I have
Kamira,
the strength to climb up and out. So I think at this point I'm like holding on, and like I throw my feet out to like brace myself out against the wall,
Mhm.
and I say like, "Everybody, brace or something. Like, hold us up."
Are we?
Okay.
Are we
So
like?
everyone
Are we within arm's reach?
I am
of it?
going to need collective strength checks as you're holding on until hopefully the cubes kind of pass through and make their way through in different directions.
May I do an athletics?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's strength.
Strength saving throw or
What the shit?
what is happening?
Can I pity that? Or not pity, but the
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
reroll that. Reroll that
Yep.
shit.
Thank you.
Chimera, you see a
There we go.
terrible fate where he lets go and like everyone falls into the gelatinous cube and dissolves and they're just skeletons. But thankfully you like switch over and he's hanging on super tight.
But in
And,
the other timeline, you start a fun cover band called Chimera and the Cubes, and you forget all about us and
When-
your new life as a bard.
I
I no
activate my
longer have
glutes.
this character. I'm gonna miss that ability so fucking much.
Yeah. All right, so you guys hang on, and thank God, because eventually the gelatinous cubes will kind of like they'll mesh, they'll form, and then they'll just kind of like push down into the sewer and then spread back out towards where it was they came from to start their cycle all over again. And that point, you can kind of like let your grappling hook down a little bit and let everybody off.
Well, I think we all know that's not how that works, unfortunately. The tube was complicated. I just remember that. But yeah, we'll get down. We'll get down with our
Okay.
bad selves.
Alrighty.
As we
You get
continue,
down, and it seems like things have quieted down for a second. You look around. It looks like everything's good. That was a scary one. That was some near death right there.
It was.
But you guys have made it out okay for now. And
Richard,
it's eerily quiet up above.
technically, I feel like, I have my Furbog Fortitude thing. There's no reason I can't just dodge when we're not in combat and use my hit dice and patch up, right?
That's true.
Okay,
Yep, you
cool.
can absolutely do that.
All right, cool. I'll just to get myself back up. I'll probably have to use 2 of these, at least 2 of these, at least 3 of these.
Oh!
Well, okay, guys, we're done for the night. The rolls
All right.
are too bad. Like, it's 11 anyway. Let's just call it here. We got a nice lull. We'll pick up when you start hearing commotion up above, and hopefully the rolls will be better next time. Good lord, that is
Yikes.
freaking awful.
All right. Well,
That went from this is okay to oh no.
well,
Damn.
okay. That's an episode. Well, I guess
Oh.
we'll get out of the sewers and into the real battle next week.
Yep.
Well, I mean, hey, we're here. We're in it.
We're in the middle of a sneaking mission.
Almost snake. Gelatinous cube.
Oh, why is it gelatinous? Oh.
There's something
Otacon.
nasty collected in those gelatinous cubes. Those are some
Uh-huh.
fucking dangerous
We're
gelatinous cubes.
resilient.
Otacon, what's a cube?
Well, all right. So, we'll be back next week then.
We'll be back next week for the
Later.
battle up above.
Yep. Later.
Yum, 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 yum.